And welcome back to episode 2026 Arnold Recap. This is the Unpaid and Underrated podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Big Keith, joined as always by a whole gaggle of people this week. We got a nice variety. I'm going to go around the room and give everyone a chance to kind of introduce themselves and talk for a few seconds. You can kind of get familiar with their voice. Big Brandon, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show.
Doing good, Keith. How are you doing tonight?
Wonderful, my friend.
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's Big Brandon. My Instagram is O'Doyle underscore basement underscore lifts. And just for some backgrounds, my second time at the Arnold and my, I don't know, fifth, sixth crew event, something like that. So looking forward to being on tonight and talking to you guys and reminiscing a little bit just for last weekend's sake.
Love it, love it. Big Tom, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? So I'm Big Nate's buddy Tom. My Instagram handle is 1_9_training. This was, I think it was my third Arnold. And I guess like a fun fact about that is my first ever Arnold. I hung out with the crew at the crew meetup with all the guys all night long. I wasn't crew yet. I'd heard of Massonomics, didn't know who they were. So it was kind of my first exposure was an in-person event. So it was kind of fun.
Awesome, awesome. And Big Kurt from Philadelphia, how you doing, my friend?
Oh, close enough to Philadelphia.
Yeah, Jason. Well, I was gonna say new Kurt, but we probably had like four. You were new Kurt, but I feel we had to have had some new Kurts by now.
Yeah.
Some additional new Kurts. So I didn't know. Yeah, but how you doing, buddy?
Good to see everybody again. So this was my first Arnold. I almost went to the Arnold last year, but I guess it was worth the wait just to come this year. My Instagram is kdubs_82. I'm Big Kurt W in the Discord, and it's my third time on Unpaid and Underrated. It's like to be here.
Glad to have you, my friend. And I think that's it. We don't have anybody else. Oh, wait, there's somebody. No, I know. We have newly minted Hall of Fame jacket level member, Big Spicy Pizza, Big Daniel. How you doing, friend?
What up? This is Big Spicy Pizza, Big Daniel, or Big Randy over here in Moorhead, Minnesota. This was my first Arnold, and it was super fun to see everyone.
Awesome. And we can do a little bit of housekeeping. Is anyone drinking anything special or wearing anything they want to talk about? Because I'm probably just power through that if not.
Silly goose in it.
Nice.
It's worth showing.
Yep, I love it. Now is that the slim fit or the comfort color?
Yeah, this is the slim one. I think this is the first one, and
Nice.
I have trouble like talking Emily into letting me buy the same print like 1,000 times. So I just don't even bring it up most of the time.
I feel that, but like I would kill for some comfort colors 8-bit strongman shirt. Like,
that would be pretty sick.
I would literally be a very, very happy man to get the 8-bits on comfort colors. So
I was just telling my wife that the other day I'd really like now that I'm signed up for my first one. I really, really want that one.
yeah, you are. It's good stuff. As far as
I got the
yeah.
Oh, I got the strong and silly shirt.
There's a hawk on there or something, I think.
Oh yeah. And of course my Hall of Fame jacket. I'm pretty sure it's fused on by this point.
Nice. How is that? Oh, and he's drinking a nice Mick Ultra. That a boy.
It's a good
Mick
IPA.
Ultra Zero.
Oh, is that
Alcohol free for the liver.
Oh, yeah. I was like, you can't be drinking that.
Okay.
How's that taste?
It's
I didn't know that was a thing.
beer adjacent.
Yeah, maybe I did know that was a thing, but
It's like
I could
it's the
drink
best I could get, I guess.
yeah. I could maybe have one of those. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
29 calories.
yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I think to my memory, this is my first ever fridge cigarette on the podcast. Usually I don't, I'm not a late night caffeine consumer, but I was in bed about passed out 20 minutes ago. So I was like, I need some caffeine and I do not want a Monster at 7 o'clock, but a Diet Coke, about a quarter of the caffeine of a Monster, maybe even less. I was like, that's just enough, I think, to get me going. And let's see.
I'm doing the long sleeve gym tee. I absolutely love this.
There you go.
That's one of my favorite shirts.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm not a average size guy. I'm just too afraid to rock out a long sleeve and have it be like hanging down 7 inches past my fingertips and then like still have my butt crack hanging out the back because I'm a big belly boy. But someday I'll get back into long sleeves. Let's see. This week, as far as housekeeping for Massonomics, the episode. Let's see, it was the Darko episode, first interview episode in several months. If not, let's see, who was the last? Was it
I think it was Bromley was the
yeah,
last one.
which was like was that a year ago?
December,
Like
no,
was it
it was like
even?
November or December, I think.
Yeah, that was many months ago. I'm glad I just so but yeah, it was a I think someone commented on the fact that they did not play unpaid or they did not play underrated or whatever they get. What's that weird when they play that? What's that iteration of the game that we play that they play? But they didn't play it that week, did they?
Nope, I don't
Overrated,
think so.
underrated.
I guess. I mean, it's whatever that game that they play is. It's adjacent to ours. I think someone had commented that, and I was like, yeah, if you want to hear Darko play a game like that, go listen to our episode because we took care of that last year. But Darko's always a good guest. We enjoyed him on our episode. A lot of new updates in his life. The weight loss, he's dropping 40 pounds or whatever. It was really cool, and getting his new. I've been asking him, keeping tabs on when he was going to get his bigger facility and stuff. So that's really cool that he's able to finally bring on another guy full time and actually open up a facility and get his garage back and everything. So I'm sure his life is different, but it's got to be better, right? Like you don't have the ability to just go into your garage and work until 2 o'clock in the morning just because you can. Like you'd have to like physically go drive to your warehouse, and then it's like that barrier of like, all right, I need to actually have a personal life now and not be a workaholic. But then if I need to go to work, I can still just get in my car and go. But I think that has to be better for his mental health. I couldn't. I don't think I'd want to run a business out of my house. That sounds unpleasant. But anyway, 5 out of 5 new office buildings. What did Brandon? I was going order. What did you think of it, my friend?
I thought it was really good. I really liked those new mag pens that he's coming out with. I thought that was
Yeah.
cool. That it was funny that Tommy noticed them in the background,
Hmm.
like really soon, and Tanner didn't at all, apparently. But I can only imagine a Keith head mag pen in my gym would just really, make it really nice. So I'm gonna go with 5 out of 5 Darko mag pens.
Nice. Big Tom, what'd you think? Did you get a chance to listen?
Yeah, I did. It was a pretty good episode. I think it was Tanner was cracking me up when he was talking about like Darko and his brother have full home gyms like just right down the road from each other, and was saying they could set it up, so one could be like the ultimate upper body home gym and one could be the ultimate lower, which I thought was funny because I think that's one of the big struggles with the home gym is you gotta, you only have so much space, so you really got to maximize it, and that would um, really let you get the best of both worlds. But yeah, I mean, I think I'd have to go with 5 out of 5 Darko anchors.
Love it. Big Kurt, what'd you think, bud?
I liked it for a couple reasons. One, it's always really inspiring to hear about people like him who are super busy and still find the time to train and are really successful with it and are like managing other facets of their life at the same time. The other thing I really liked that he did is he lost a lot of weight, but did it through strength training. I wanted to lose weight a couple years ago, and I went about it through running. And I definitely think he took the smarter way about it. So, absolutely, 5 out of 5 anchors all the way.
I think my favorite part was he was just like, I just went to bed at 10 o'clock instead of 2 in the morning and I just lost weight. And I was like, okay, getting sleep because he just wasn't working, eating like an asshole all night long. So I found that pretty interesting. Daniel, what did you enjoy about it, my friend?
I really enjoyed the entire community aspect of the episode. It was him basically saying like if he wasn't in the Discord or like that, and if he didn't get an amount of orders, he wouldn't have done anything else with his projects.
And if you had to give it a rating,
Oh, 5 out of 5 friends we made along the way.
nice.
Perfect.
And then the YouTube video was their recap, so we can touch on that a little bit, but a lot of it is stuff I guess we could talk about, what they did with the equipment and stuff and the people they ran into, but anything at the Eagle, which I guess was really just a couple like 360s of the room. But I just don't want to really I don't want to double cover stuff, but anybody see anything in their video that stood out? Because I personally didn't get a chance to I wanted to see the booths, but God, Yeah, I was there for a couple hours, and it's all I could do to just find some friends and see some booths at a distance that were just completely like equipment booths specifically is what I'm saying. Like that would have been cool to try some stuff because I was kind of selfishly like, man, if I try it for at least a couple minutes, I can put it on Gym Radar and give it my unofficial poor rating of my incorrect opinion of how this piece of equipment is off my 90 seconds of handling it, but didn't really get a chance to touch any of that. But anybody else get to, get anything out of the video as far as the equipment or anything or the interviews themselves?
I My favorite part was when I got a louder response for the Hall of Fame jacket than Paul. That was my biggest takeaway.
That's fair. Oh, I love it. Good deal. All right. Okay.
I like the interview with Boogs. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty
Just
fun.
at first I thought it was just going to be them walking around equipment stuff, and that's always cool. Panada was cool, the Bolt booth was cool, but just for them to like stop and talk to Huck Finn and talk to Rick Boogs, I thought those were pretty good. So
Yeah, it's always nice to see them kind of, see their old friends. Did Nick Canby end up getting that Viking press? Anybody? I thought I remember seeing on Instagram. Somebody I put it was like it was going to be a 400 pound and plus freaking Viking, which is wild.
I saw
No,
you got a
sorry,
really
sorry,
heavy one.
not a It was it a Viking or was sorry
It
I
was a
misspeaking.
Viper. It was
Viper,
a
yeah, yeah,
Viper.
yeah, I
Yeah.
misspoke. So if anyone's not familiar, a Viper is literally like you clean it from the floor, but there's really no like push press or split jerk. It's essentially like it's just on your chest for like a 16th of a second, and then you're supposed to be able to just roll it, like push press it right out. So um, that's wild if he did or didn't get it. But even the concept of a 400 pound Viper in general is just boggling to me. So that was pretty wild. And then yeah, the Arnold. This was 2026 Arnold. It was big. I've People were saying, "Oh, it wasn't that packed." Dude, fuck you. That was the busiest Saturday I'd ever seen in my life. Granted, I wasn't there in like the 15 to 2019 era where maybe quote unquote peaked, or 18 and 19 where and maybe it was like that even more, but I can't imagine there being more people in there. I can't. It was a lot of people. So for anyone, so let's see. So Kurt and Spicy, that was your first time. That had to be, my God, overwhelming. Did you go? But you went Friday too, though, right? So you're kind of easy. You were able to ease yourself into it. Oh, you didn't show up on Friday at all. So your Arnold experience was Friday. Boom, 200,000 people, wall to wall, nuts to butts. Like, tell us about that.
So the good part about it was is that you would have thought it would have been a complete nightmare trying to get in there on Saturday with as many people as there were, and we just got in the regular line. I guess Spicy, what was it, about 9 o'clock in the morning or so when
Yeah,
we got there?
somewhere around there.
And the line actually moved a lot quicker than what you would have thought to get in there. So we were able to get in there pretty quick. And when we were in there in the morning, I would say it was still pretty easy to navigate around, and everything that you wanted to get to see, you would get to see. But as far as like getting like up close to like some vendor that you might want to see, that was another story. You were probably going to have to wait like more than an hour for some of the more popular ones.
Yeah, I guess I didn't mind the crowd so much. It was the person that didn't know how to walk
Hmm.
or just stopped right in front of you that was really getting me upset.
Yeah, I have never been kicked in my heels or got my shoes stepped on more in my life. Like, and I personally have been to 2023. In 2023, I was there on Friday and Saturday morning, and Saturday morning before they even opened up to the crowd was busier than at any point it was Friday because I think I had like the early access or whatever. So that like hour from 9 to 10 was busier Saturday than any of Friday. And then last year, I don't think it was as busy as it would have been, and maybe it was. I don't know. Last year does not compare to this year. At no point for me walking from point A to point B, like I could get from Massonomics booth to Strongman in a reasonable amount of time, and only bump into a few people potentially. Or I could make it to the powerlifting in like a blink of an eye. This year, from like roughly where Massonomics was last year to get to the powerlifting, it still took like several minutes, and to get to Strongman, amateur Strongman on the other end by Youngla. It was fucking like it took like I what up maybe 20 minutes might be an exaggeration, but like more than 10 minutes, like 20 minutes might not be an exaggeration for how long it took you to walk essentially from one end of the place to the other, like at its peak, which is wild because it's only, I don't know, like 500 yards, maybe 1,000. I don't know it's hard to kind of grasp how, because you're not walking at a pace where you can kind of be like, that's how far I walked. You're like tippy toeing. So it's like, did I tippy toe two football fields or seven? Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you wanted to get over to the amateur strongman, that happened to be right next to Young LA. So you were just going to have to fight a ton of people,
Yeah,
regardless of which side you came from.
I hate that layout. Like, I get they need the Young LA booth or whatever to like bring in some of the people and they got all the influencers, but like, give the amateur strongman a bigger corner and don't cram them next to the second, like to the crowd. Like, don't take the place where people could actually watch something for free and enjoy it, and like take all the spectator space completely away and just like put it on their booth, where they have so much other places they could just kind of like get a little more space going. Like, I don't know. I don't love that. But yeah, everything was just, it was wildly crowded, which is good for the expo, I suppose. It means it's going to keep going on, but man, I don't know that I'll ever go into the expo again for the rest of my life. I really don't.
Well, even last year compared to this year, I feel like the booths have changed big time. It's,
Yeah.
you know, there's almost like, I mean, if you're of a certain age, it's like there's not really a whole lot there for you anymore. You know, I guess some people are still, if you really, really like that bodybuilding scene, then you can still get, you know, a lot of value out of it. But for strength sports stuff, it's kind of, you know, less and less, I feel like.
Yeah, if you like, you want to talk to a guy that just makes t-shirts and shoot the shit and like talk to some genuine dudes. Like, I don't think there was a lot of genuine people there. I mean, I'm sure there were, but there was a lot of employees there. Not a lot of genuine like. And granted, like some of the booths, I'm sure good people and like honest and like having fun, but from the 5,000 foot view, it's just like maybe one or two things I'd want to do there, and just a lot of stuff I'd want to avoid. But it was still, it's what brings us all together. It's what gave us the opportunity to have probably, I mean, there was at least 50 of us at the Eagle, and there was probably multiple handfuls of people that just didn't make it to the Eagle for one reason or another. So say 60 plus crew in Columbus. If it wasn't for Massonomics, maybe 10 of those crew, maybe 20 of those crew would have went to Columbus. I don't know. Those numbers might be generous, but I mean, at
No,
least,
I think that's really fair because I mean I'm only an hour and 40 minutes away, and after the first time I went, definitely would have I wasn't even crew yet, and I wanted to go and I wanted to go last year, but this year I was like, man, if I like next year I'll probably go because it's only an hour and 40 minutes and it's a crew meetup and stuff, but like I really have not don't have a lot of interest in the expo. It was cool, like I like it, but the like you guys were saying it felt like there were fewer vendors that I wanted to go up to. And then of the fewer ones, it was like such a hassle to get to them that like if they were on the fringe of like on a normal time, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd definitely go check this out, but I'm not like super interested. The lines or the crowd or like just to get to them was so difficult. I was like, ah, it's fine. We'll pass. We'll move on from that. Like you were saying, the strongman was really the amateur strongman. We went over there to watch it. And it was just so crowded. We did end up having that impromptu crew meetup over there, which was kind of cool. But you notice one of the things I noticed was we kind of did it out of the way of the people walking. Like
hmm
we saw like big groups of people just hanging out in the middle of the
yeah,
aisles.
we
That
were,
was just driving me crazy.
yeah, we weren't the douchebags. There were definitely a lot of them though. Let's see. So that's just kind of, I mean, everyone has their own individual stories. I'm just trying to keep us on point, and we can kind of circle back to stuff. But just, was anybody there? Did anybody go to the expo at all Friday? Just as far as chronological. Okay, so nobody was really there Friday. I know, Spicy, you flew in Friday then, and
Yep,
then
I got in
you checked out
around
the horseshoe,
10.
right? You went to
Sure did.
Ohio State's football field. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, that was one of the best tours I've ever had. And I've been to Italy and I've toured the Colosseum, the catacombs. But no, the horseshoe, that was pretty freaking cool. They spend $1 million just to maintain the concrete that they have in the
Annually,
stadium.
or like they did it once and it's good for like 50 years.
No, like they
Yeah.
do like general maintenance on it.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
That's 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 a lot of money. Big Hunter in the chat did say that Sunday he said that Friday was dead, and then that obviously Saturday was a shit show, and then Sunday I don't know about all day, but at least at points it was just as busy as Sunday was just as busy as Saturday, which I can't believe that. Like that's wild if that's even if it's like even if it was 75%, because usually I think it's like 40% or 30% of what Saturday is. So that's wild that anyone would that if that and that might be also why the breaking news of we're gonna do a Thursday fucking Arnold now too, which I feel like if they hadn't priced in like if they hadn't made it to where Massonomics wouldn't want to do the Arnold, making it another day would have been what broke the fucking camel's back, would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. Because like I feel bad for the small guys that have been like, oh wait, so now I have to leave an extra day earlier, spend. Are you going to charge me more for the booth now? Does now my $8,000 booth go to 10,000 because I'm renting it longer? Like
Mhm.
yeah. But
No,
I don't.
I would say it was we went I competed on Sunday, so we went in like to the expo for a little bit while we were there, and it was definitely like I told my wife when we walked in, because she didn't go Saturday. I was like, I said this is definitely less crowded, but not like it wasn't like 40%. It was like,
Mhm.
I'd say 80, 90% was crowded. There were a couple of times she wanted to go up to a booth and saw the line and was like, you know what, never mind, like we're good. So
That's wild to me. Yeah, that's crazy. So your competition, you would was that gi jujitsu or what do you compete in? What was your
yeah, it was
tournament?
gi jujitsu on,
I
yeah.
got that right. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. Oh, that was well. I don't want to jump ahead. I was just gonna say Sunday I actually walked past Hogan while we were in there, and I tried to say hi to him, but like we were both in the crowds going, and there's just so many people that he didn't even hear me say hi, and I didn't want to like create a blockade, so I just kind of kept walking. But yeah, I mean, so give you an idea how Sunday was.
Nice. That was a hard thing. I guess as far as like our general stories, it's like finding crew in the Arnold. So historically, Massonomics booth is home. So anyone that's not familiar hasn't been like anytime that I've gone, Massonomics has the booth, and that's like home base. So you say hi to them, you buy your shit, and then you just have your place to go hang out. And you could do a walk by every hour and you'd see five different crew at that booth at any given time, give or take. So like that's been my experience at the Arnold. So knowing that wasn't going to be a thing this year, I was like, oh, how the hell are you going to find people? So as far as my experience, I get there at like 3 o'clock on Saturday, have a horrible time getting in. The ticket was outrageous. Initially, the guy was like, "Oh, it's sold out. You can't get in." And then I was like, "Well, that's bullshit," because I just saw 1,000 people walk down the street. So you can't tell me there's not space now unless you oversold it, which is your fault, not mine. But anyway, I got paid fucking $70 for a single day ticket. Got in, saw one crew right off the bat. Knew a guy. I feel bad if he's listening. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Like I can picture his face, and I met his wife, and we talked for a few minutes. Probably should have talked to him longer because I thought I was going to be like, okay, cool. I'm going to see like 20 people today, and it's going to be great. I'll have a bunch of little mini conversations. I left that conversation, and I think that at that point I hadn't like been overwhelmed with how many people were there yet, not realizing that it was like the most crowded thing I've ever been to in my life. And I didn't see a crew for like a half hour, to the point that I was like, man, I'm gonna fucking just leave. Like I'm gonna go take a nap, go to the hotel, get a couple hours of sleep, something. I had such a horrible time getting down there. Um, and then I went for basically, I think I did a whole lap. I went to the amateur strongman, no one was there at that time, and then kind of went up and down a few aisles, ended up back over to where Massonomics booth was, and then ended up over by like where USAPL powerlifting was, and then I eventually saw someone around the USAPL meet, and then another person, and then another person, because I kind of was just like, all right, well, now I know not to lose crew, because like I didn't see anyone, I haven't seen anyone for fucking a half hour, so I kind of just kept on that conversation with another new crew that I had never met, and then I want to say I saw Daniel some point pretty soon to that. Then Kurt wandered over, couple other familiar face. Oh, Hunter and Wesley Honeycutt and their wives. Met all them, which was wild to meet another Honeycutt. Like I've never met another Honeycutt in my entire life with the same last name spelled the same way, let alone one that's in the same fucking online cult of less than 800. Like when he joined, there was maybe 500 people. So like to be in this random cult with 500 people at the time, and to have two people with the same last name that I've never met someone with the same last name. And when I see them on Facebook, they're always spelled differently too. So like to have the exact same spelled last name to me was fucking mind-boggling. So it was really cool to meet him. We all were there was maybe 8 of us there, you think, Daniel, was spicy. There was a handful of us there, 6, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they were like, all right, well, we know there's some more people on the other end because we had just left them. I think the Kentucky contingent were like, there's some more guys over there. Let's go try to find them. So then at least 8 or 9 of us try to get back. Basically, you couldn't have gone any farther. You're going from strongman to power, or from powerlifting to strongman, which is complete opposite ends of the venue. And that's where I had my like people fucking kept kicking me and this, that, and the other. It was great. Hunter was getting a kick out of it because he could hear me motherfucking every other person that fucking ran into me.
Yeah, he did like a pretty good impression of you.
Oh,
Like,
did he?
yeah, like yelling at kids, kicking you. It was pretty
I
good.
don't know. Well, I mean, kids in the sense of like a 20-year-old asshole, but they're still adults.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
The place was full of those.
Yeah, lots of
Yeah.
them. I'd have never felt so tall in my life as a 5'8", as generously being 5'8". I have never felt so tall in my life. Like, I don't know if it's just this year specific, because I don't remember like feeling tall at the Arnold in the previous years, but this year I'm like, dude, everyone's like 5'6" or shorter. Like not everyone, but like 50% of the males in that room were 5'6" or under, which was wild to me. I had never, maybe I just didn't notice it in years past, but I don't know. Did anyone else kind of notice that? Everyone, oh, you guys are fucking 5'10" or above, I think, so you probably wouldn't, but as me being the short guy, I noticed it.
Appreciate you calling 5'10" being up there in the height. That's
I mean, I got to look up at 5'10", so that's pretty tall.
Yeah. Make me feel pretty good over here.
Yeah. So if no one's, I'm sorry if I keep. It's hard to like. There's so much to talk about, but I'll just kind of carry stories and then just jump in when it's relevant, I guess. So obviously, if you're not familiar with the Arnold, either your phone won't work, you won't get any internet signal, you won't get any social media data, anything, but you can make shitty phone calls that will kind of go through. So I kind of remembered that from years past, and I was like, where the fuck is everybody at that point? And I was like, because I think we were on a journey to find Brandon and Jakey and Nate, because a whole bunch of guys were supposed to be like meeting Boogs, and then I was following Hunter and Wesley to go find that group, and then we couldn't find you. Then I called Brandon, and you and Jakey had just left to go park the car and then Uber back, and then I called Nate, and at that point I was roughly by the amateur strongman. And Nate answered, and we were kind of like describing to each other where we were at, and he's like, "That's where I'm at." And like, the funny thing was, I could have thrown my phone and hit Nate. We were so close to each other while we were talking on the phone in a 200,000 person room. So that was funny. He was like, are you by the G-wagon? And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but I'm by a black SUV. I still don't know what a G-wagon. I have no understanding of what a G-wagon is, but okay. Is that a car? Is that a name of a vehicle? I don't know, but that's where we were at. And then that's where the bigger, I would say, I don't know if it was the quote unquote main crew meetup of the afternoon, but like that's the only place I saw people for an extended period of time, because there was at one point maybe 10 of us there shooting the shit. Tanner and Tommy.
I'd say for sure that's the case, because me and Nate got in around like, I don't know, 12:30, 1 o'clock, because I think Tanner had said an unofficial meetup was at the North Market a couple blocks away, and everyone was going to meet for lunch. And I think by the time we got there, a lot of the guys had already left. But driving in, we had seen Debo walking in, and we couldn't find parking. So I rolled down the window and just shouted like, "Debo, like where'd we?" And he was trying to like shout to us like where we could find parking. And so we met up with him over at North Market, and I think Big Spicy was there, and there were a few people there, and we had lunch, and then we kind of didn't leave Debo and Mrs. Debo. We just all hung out together, and like you were saying, some of us had tickets, Nate didn't, so he went to go get a ticket while we went to go get our wristbands. And then he didn't know where we were, so he just walked in, and then we couldn't find him for a little bit, and actually figured out that the calling works. I got his texts like hours later. Yeah. And so we kind of were walking around just trying to figure out what to do, because like, you know, like you said, normally you run up and go to the Massonomics booth and you can hang out. We walked around for a little bit, saw Matt winning in some kind of weird grip contest I'd never seen before. We thought he was arm wrestling at first because you couldn't really get close.
Was it that slider thing?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
They were doing that slider thing, and like it was.
I can't picture that. I'm interested.
Well, so like it's just like a
finger mock wrestling or something.
It's like tug of war.
Okay.
But there's just like something flat with just a little bit of lip on either end that each person's grabbing with their hand and trying to.
Gotcha. So like a piece of wood on a flat table or something, and you're just pulling back and forth with it, or something.
Yeah, I couldn't really see it that well, but that's
Interesting.
exactly like what.
It was just like the world's longest handshake.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And we just walked around like that for a little bit. We tried to see the amateur strongman, but it hadn't started yet, and just kind of kept walking through the crowd. And eventually, I knew Boogs was there, and I was like, "Well, let's go find him." And so on the way there, I looked over to the Alani booth, and I'd wanted an energy drink, and I was like, "Oh, there's no line." So
I heard this story.
so I'm like, "Hey, look, there's no line." Like, just and I'm telling you, it felt like there was no one there. So I walked right up. The lady asked me what flavor I wanted. I told her. She handed it to me, no problems. And then I'm walking away, and Nate goes, "Tom, there's a huge line," and it like wrapped around. I mean, there were at least like I don't think it's exaggerating to say 40 people in line for
That's
drink.
hysterical.
And then so we left there and walked over and found Boogs, and I think that's where Brandon was in line and met up with a few other. Hunter, I think, was there and met up with a few other people, and it was kind of cool because we ended up getting to chat with Boogs for a while. I asked him if they were going to do another Eagle Olympics soon, and we heard Brandon while he was in line. He started pitching him on Gym Radar, and brought in Nate. So Nate's telling him all about it, and he's like, he started getting worried. Like he's like, well, people going to like know where I live if I do. And I was thinking, man, if people want to know where you live, they'll just Google it anyway.
Yeah,
like doesn't take long. But anyway, I mean, I don't know how long do you think everyone. I mean, you talked to him for a while before we jumped in, Brandon, and I mean.
Yeah, he was giving people time. Like I think he even mentioned that in the YouTube video, the Massonomics video.
Yeah.
That, but like, and my interaction was kind of interesting just because it was like the first thing I let off was, "Hey, I just wanted to meet you. Like, I don't want to take up your time or whatever." Shook his hand or whatever, got a picture, and he was like, "No, no, 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 hang out for a few." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Ask me anything." And like, I didn't have anything prepared, so I was just like, not like dumbfounded, but almost just like, well, what am I going to ask this guy? So, and then finally I was just like, okay, I'll ask you this. I was like, why don't you ask me something? And then finally, so he was like, all right, I like that question. He was like, why do people come to these things? And like, cause he kind of didn't get it either. I feel like
the meet.
Like,
so was it a free meet and greet? Like where was this at?
Yeah, it was free.
What was
it was for
Psychopharma?
Psychopharma, which is his like, I mean, it's like a supplement company.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have like pre-workout and
steroids and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much creatine, which is pretty much a steroid, I think.
Yeah, it's
peptides, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
He was really cool though. I mean, we spent like I think between all the crew that were kind of in that group, we probably took if maybe it was less. I felt like 10 to 15 minutes like at the time, and he never once seemed like he was like ready to push it. Huck Finn was there right before we got there. That was so they had chatting it up, but no, he was really cool. Seemed really, really genuine. A lot of the times I think and I get it because there's a long line, but they're like, "Hi, nice to see you. Take a picture, move on."
Fuck out of here, yeah.
He seemed like somebody who just wants to hang out, like have a good time.
Yeah, he was more concerned. He was like, which I took it kind of as a compliment because he was like, "Oh, you're kind of a big guy." He's like, "Where can I work out around here?" And I'm like, I'm not from around here, man." I was like, but I'm sure any gym in town somebody will recognize you and let you work out probably.
I asked him if he's always talking about the instant coffee or the pre-workouts or whatever. So I asked him if he had any instant over there, and he said, he goes, no instant, just this bottle. It's like a full like bottle of ready-made coffee. And he's like, it's got like it was empty. And he goes, it's had about 800 milligrams in, but I got to go work out later. So I'll get a little more. I'll probably hit at least a gram of caffeine today.
It's wild.
How much is it? What's it?
It's 1,000 milligrams.
Oh, Jesus.
So like,
it's about a Monster's like 250, right?
It's like
Monster's like 160, I think.
Okay, so
yeah,
that's
but most like a Reign energy drinks like 300.
Ugh, okay.
So yeah,
I'm trying to like my Monsters. That's a lot of.
Yeah, I had a 300 milligram the other week. I was ready to jump out of my skin.
That's a wild amount of caffeine. Like that's like I think I would die with that much caffeine. That's.
And I think from there that's where we met up with you, Keith.
That's a G-wagon, whatever that is.
Oh yeah.
No, that was the highlight of the expo for me. Was that our hanging out there for what seemed like an hour or so, just shooting the shit, and people coming and going. And I didn't want to be the first one to leave, so it was just. And I was My God, Tom saved my life. I was so fucking dehydrated. I was hurting. I had like the worst day getting down there, and I was a hurting boy. And I was like, I don't want to go like buy a bottle of water, and I don't want to stand in line for a half hour for caffeine because that's not what I'm feeling. And Tom had a actually we get into a what's in Tom's sack and a little drink segment real quick. What was that? That was a
I had a sack full of drinks, Keith, before
yeah.
you got there. You got like one of the last ones.
Now was that? Did you have a variety of flavor, or was it just like this is the one
Uh,
flavor I'm going to give out all day?
no, so I had the I think it was like banana berry
It
something, and
was banana berry. I had the banana berry. Tanner kind of
I
shit on it.
no, he's not a fan.
So I will my rating essentially will be I was so thirsty it probably a skew, but it was like a 3.7 out of 5. Maybe yeah, it wasn't a 4, but it wasn't a 3. Called a 3.5, 3.7, but it was warm as shit, which is to be expected. But it was I didn't taste any berry. It was just like a can of
It was
banana.
banana.
It
Yeah.
was it was like did you like as like it was like a banana like icicle thing just melted. Like it tasted just like you know I have like the frozen banana like the really cheap like Walmart popsicles that were just banana flavored. It was that just in a can. So it was interesting, but it wasn't great. But God, it saved my life as far as getting some liquid in because I was like, I don't want to leave the Arnold to go get water. Like I spent so much money to get in here. I just want to like hang out and talk to the boys. I don't want to leave. And then Tom took pity on me and tossed me the last one.
Well, I had
We
so last year I had a similar experience where I was really thirsty. I get chronic migraines and I had a migraine in there last time and like if you want to drink, you can get an energy drink or a protein shake in there like if you're willing to spend a few minutes in line, but like sometimes like I was like
Or
I just
or 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 not, as you already told
yeah.
us, you know.
Well, yes, I mean some people just skip the lines, but
Yep, yep, yep.
um I think what happened was the people in the line had actually heard that I once killed a guy,
Yep.
fake AI, so they were
I
like,
mean, he
"We're
was
just gonna
supposed to
let
be here tonight, supposedly. And ironically,
him."
there's only one of you here, so it's like
I don't know.
ipso
But
facto, big math
so
over
this
here.
year I like put a bunch of I had they were lemon limes and the banana berries and but like I was like yeah I definitely gonna want these and I know that there's gonna be some other people that are thirsty and I think Mrs. Debo took one. She was real hesitant at first. Keith was not hesitant at
Oh
all.
God, no. I was
He
like,
he,
I was
he
like,
said I threw him one. He like fake took it out of my hand and I was like no you can have it. Like, yeah
well, you because you wanted to get you gave one to Tanner and you were ready to give one to Tommy, but he was like mid conversation and you didn't want to bug
yeah.
him. And I looked over and you still had it in your hand like a minute later, and I just kind of looked at you with puppy dog eyes, hoping you'd take the hint. I was like, "Give me this fucking drink, please." And like that's what my heart said, but my eyes were just like, "Ah, hey, how you doing, friend?" But
We should
I
have
I
asked.
appreciate I
I had a
appreciate
second one, so I
I
gave it to Tommy, and he didn't rate it, but you could tell like when he drank it, like you could tell like he was like you, like he was like probably didn't care at all what flavor
yeah.
it like it could have been like
I think
this flavor, and
it
he would have been like yeah
I I was kind of today I had a really weird experience today. Like on my drive back, I was kind of like, because this is one of my only my handful of like kind of solo hosting, if you will. So I was like kind of running through like my whole weekend in my head. Actually I talked it out. Like I spent like 20 minutes on my drive back today, like just kind of like doing a monologue under my breath. And at one point, when I was to the drink part, I was like, I think I remember saying vividly something to the extent of it could have been piss, and I still would have rated it a 3. Like I was so thirsty, like it wouldn't have mattered.
yeah.
Like that's how thirsty I was. Um, but yeah, I think a lot of us were at that little meetup there. So as far as lunch, I mean, we already kind of. I want to know if anyone had Hubert's and if it was their first time or Polish food in general. I guess. What's Spicy's shaking his head over there? So, what was your Hubert's experience? Did it live up to the smoke?
I believe it did. I had like $20 worth of food, but it was a lot of food. I got the sauerkraut, a pierogi. That was good. The sauerkraut's always good. But there was the kielbasa and the chicken cutlet and the stew was phenomenal. It was great.
Nice. Anybody else? Yep.
yeah, it was
Saturday
my yeah. Go ahead.
So,
I
Brandon,
was just
no, Tom, sure, Tom, cut him off.
sorry.
No,
Tom didn't just talk
uh,
for 20 minutes. We'll let him go.
no, it's fine.
Brandon, tell me about
Uh,
your kibasi,
Kielbasa? That's what you said?
whichever.
I didn't have that. I did have pierogies, and
What the fuck is it? What is a
I
pierogi? Is it
I don't know. So I always thought they were filled with cheese,
okay?
and maybe it is cheese, but it tasted more like
Potato.
potato to me. Is it
Yeah,
potato?
it's
Okay.
It's like a
potato.
noodle with like mashed potato
Yeah.
and cheese in
Yeah, it was
it.
like mashed potatoes, and I guess like the mixture
Interesting.
of like potatoes and noodles was different to me, but I thought it was super good. And
A lot
then
of carbs.
that stew was like really good,
Oh,
Yeah, I'm assuming everybody got the free stew like that he was offering. Uh, but like, I don't know what it was. Like, there was two options. I picked one, and they both looked the exact same to me. But I picked one, and it was great. It wasn't spicy or anything like you said, but it was good.
Nice.
Yeah, for
And
anyone who doesn't like potatoes, they can easily convince themselves that it is cheese instead of pierogi. It's got the same consistency, and it's so damn good.
It is really good. Yeah, it's just this like hot, wet lump. I made it sound super appetizing
yeah,
just now, but yeah, it was really good though.
That's what I'm always looking
And
for.
we
You
got
know,
to meet
man, I could go for a
Hubert.
hot, wet lump right now.
Oh yeah,
if
hot, wet, steaming lump.
yeah, if the episode title wasn't going to be Arnold recap, it would be hot wet lump. So
I think that's how my wife describes me when I come up from lifting. Like I come out of the gym and she's like, "Look at that hot wet lump right there."
oh well, speaking of your wife and lifting, what the like she literally like I just over well maybe you can tell it better, but god damn, like I was hurt for a second and I was like, oh, that's what you're talking. I was like, what do you? So you can tell the story because I'd set it up
Yeah.
poorly.
So I'll round out the
Oh
humor
yeah,
segment.
good call.
So Saturday I was like, yeah, I really don't need to eat like a kielbasa. Like I got a sensitive stomach and I was trying not to like be hurting the next day before the comp and everything. So I went to this like it was a Somali place that had like rice and chicken and stuff in a bowl, and that was really good portions and it was good. But then Sunday went back to Hubert's and got the kielbasa and actual mashed potatoes. But the line wasn't, the line over there wasn't busy that day, so I was telling him the guys from Massonomics sent me, and he looked at me like he'd never heard of them, And I was telling him they come every year, and they like spread the good word about him online, and he was like real happy to hear it, but he was like, you could tell he was just so confused on what I was talking about and who I was talking
It was
about.
really funny.
But no, so my I the side of the basement that my gym's in is like an unfinished basement, and I think in one of my orders I got a koozie with the Keith head on it, and so up like right above the door jamb, I just kind of like wedged it in there, and over time I've gotten more koozies, and they just like are in a line. But my wife always says that Keith's like staring at her when she's lifting, and she hates it. And I always like to think he's watching me with the sandbags, like just watching over me, hoping disappointed when I don't break them.
Yeah. I think
But so I told her, I said, "Oh, that's Keith's wife over there," and she went over and I don't know exactly what she said, but she was basically like, I think what Keith had heard was her saying like, "Your husband like freaks me out," or like
no,
always
I
staring
think
at me or something.
Stephanie told me someone came up to her and said, "Your husband watches me while I work out and it's creepy," or something to that extent. And I heard that like removed from, and I'm sure like play the telephone game. I heard something different, but I'm like, what? I'm so
Yeah,
confused. And then I think you or Nate explained it to me a little bit later, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
yeah.
But that's,
No, she didn't mean it. Like, she's
no,
really
no, no,
not
no.
by
It
it.
was
It was
funny.
just
It was just
it
really
was just one
funny.
of those things where it was like I told her that when we got back to the Airbnb that night, then like she felt really bad
Oh
about it. I was
God,
like,
no, no,
no,
no.
I
Tell
think
her
like, once we
I'm
explained it, like he was good,
no, no,
but
no,
it
no.
does as a
I'm not.
guy, you're
Yeah.
like you hear somebody saying you're like creepily staring at him, it makes you like, am I making somebody uncomfortable? Like how am I?
I feel you. No, no. Tell her I'm no hard feelings whatsoever. I just thought it was really funny, and then hearing,
Yeah.
but having Stephanie kind of tell me that, and I was just like, wait, like what? Because I was just like, it caught me so off guard. What's the funniest thing though? So
Speaking of her, she's one of the crew cards I got this
oh, you got a big Stephanie. That's awesome.
yeah,
I didn't
so
see her get pulled. I think Brandon got her, didn't you, or somebody?
I think
Or
so.
maybe
Yes,
someone
yes.
because she was like someone shared me in a video, or I think it was another person you tagged had read shared it, and that's how she saw it. Maybe, or I'm not really sure, but I was like, oh, cool. The crew cards were freaking awesome. It's kind of like
Yeah,
a kind of
I
just
got big
follow.
Stephanie.
We'll just follow the segues. So we got the Massonomics crew card. It was the 2026 Arnold with a little write up blurb on the back, which is really cool. And then Hogan again knocked it out of the park, which I swear, if he paid himself an hourly wage for all this he did, my God, that man he'd be rolling. He'd have to pay himself, but he'd either be rich or in debt because it depends on who's paying him. But that man puts a lot of time and effort into these crew cards. So if you're listening and you got crew cards or you even know what they are, that's just very admirable that someone takes their time to put in the work and be a special part of the community and kind of help people get to know each other better and just it's a very gracious thing that he does for us. I'm super excited. And towards the end of the night, they had a couple extra packs, and then it was big. Who was it? The other Ohio guy,
Oh,
Big Andrew, what everybody's
Yeah,
Andrew
Andrew
Stein.
Stein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a little he had a good night, and he was like
He was feeling good.
he was like very much burying the lead. I feel like he told me his whole life story, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Hogan wanted me to give you one of these," but it was like I was like that was the longest story to like give me an extra pack of crew cards, but I think most people walked away with a couple packs of crew cards if they were there past 10 o'clock. I think.
he
Yeah,
came up
he like
behind
shoved one in
me.
my back pocket. Sorry, go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. He came up behind me and he's just like, "Don't mind me, I'm just doing some butt stuffing." And then I snapped him back a crew card.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I had to. It was some really cool ones. And let's see. So we left the expo. Well, yeah. Did anybody any more lasting thoughts on the expo itself, at least for Saturday?
I think
I
I would just say leaving was like when I knew the day was really beginning. Like that was when the part I was looking forward to the most was leaving because then I knew we were headed over to the Eagle, and like that's where I felt like the weekend was really starting.
Yeah, the Eagle was the
It-
best.
One of the
when
last
I
things I
met
can say about the expo is that I made the dumb mistake of not paying for the pro strongman. I thought that was just included
Oh
in,
God.
in the general expo pass. So
Do you not
for
listen to
any
any
crew
podcast that's
members,
ever talked about the Arnold? Like everything that's been covered on our podcast a couple times, and the Massnomics for sure. Yeah, my wife's pretty annoyed about that too because she went in like 2018 or 17 and like watched Thor pull a deadlift world record on like the main fucking stage with no extra money, and yeah, that went away like 6-7 years ago, I think. Sadly.
I didn't know it used to be included.
Yeah, I mean pre 20. I don't want to say pre-win, but like in 20, call it
Proper freaking country though,
in
right? Like
16 or 17 when she competed down there, it was.
so for anyone
when I
going
met
for the
up with
first time,
you
pony up and make sure to get both tickets.
Yeah.
when I met up with you, Keith, I walked away for a little bit because I had to fart, and I'm a decent human being, and I didn't want you to smell it.
Hmm.
You should be very thankful
Did you knock a
because
well? Did you knock a kid out with that or something? Did you lay somebody out?
I almost did. I was in a pretty open area, and some people walked up and they're like, "Oh my gosh, that was
They were like, "Is that? Do I smell
disgusting."
Hubert? Do I smell Hubert's?
Oh yeah, it was. You smelled
Is that
pretty much
kielbasa?
everything I had.
Smells like pierogi in here.
Yeah.
Is that Polish sausage and pierogi?
We don't call you
What is
spicy
that?
pizza
Mashed
for nothing.
potato or cheese? I
Well, I
can't tell.
appreciate that. I do appreciate that, spicy. Um, how many new crew do you think you met? Like people I mean, like it's hard to like I know a lot of people from online and stuff, but like I swear there's people that I maybe had never had a DM with once and like verified I did follow. I was like, okay, yeah, I follow this guy, I know who he is, kind of, but like don't think I've ever talked to him once. And for me, it's like I got to be at least 10 people that I had like shook the hands of and met for the first time completely. So that was a pretty cool experience. Just I don't meet that many new people very often. I feel with crew, so it was very cool. Anybody else?
I'd say dozen. I feel like like a couple dozen for the
Nice.
first time. And one thing I'll say is and I think some of you guys probably recognize this too. Like the way Tanner just sees them and recognizes them, and like it feels like oh, you're this Jim on this Instagram handle, and like like and I'm like, man, I'm just trying to keep up with names over here because there's just so many of them. But it's also cool because like the next day, just tons of follows on Instagram and like
Nice.
just being able. I was DMing Hunter and I were like DMing the other day. Like I don't think I'd interacted with him in the Discord or anything ever, and then all of a sudden you're just chatting it up and stuff.
That's why this is a selling point. Like if the Arnold's not for you, then Home Gym Con is. If Home Gym Con's not for you, maybe the Lift Hard Live Easy is. If the Lift Hard Live Easy isn't, you want something more laid back, Crew Falls. Like there's 4 to 5 events that if you really want to expand your friend circle and literally makes potential lifelong friends, like don't stay at home on these weekends. Like get the time off work, save the money, come do this shit because we're making memories that are going to last a lifetime, and we're making friendships that are going to last a lifetime in some cases. So don't don't take for granted that Massnomics is going to keep this community will be around in 5 years. Like God, I hope it is, but like don't look back 5 years from now and be like, man, I really wish I had taken advantage of all these opportunities to go hang out with 50 to 100 of my what could be some of my best friends, and just because you didn't feel like it. So I don't know. It's my little rant there, but feel like a lot of people kind of feel that way or should.
Well,
If
that's kind of
folks.
like the beginning of, I feel like the beginning of you actually getting comfortable meeting some of these people is like just going. Like the Arnold last year was my first event I ever went to, and I've only missed one event since then. Lift hard, live easy last year. So I mean, and sometimes you do like, I mean, all about travel, Keith. Sometimes it's like
Oh,
you just can't make it
it always
work.
goes without a hitch. Travel's no issue.
Yeah, there's no problem for Keith in
Never,
traveling.
never.
Uh, but yeah, until you make like that plunge, like it's addicting though after that, I think.
Yeah.
I feel well said. Spicy, this was your big first cross country meet. So that's kind of one thing. Like all you South Dakota or Midwest, like I mean, obviously Minnesota, but like anyone that lives within a few hours of Sioux Falls and Aberdeen, you fuckers have it easy. It's like I almost consider you don't actually go to anything. You just fucking wake up and drive a couple hours and see your friends. Like you've never put the work in to actually go to stuff. So like a lot of the guys out there, I would still say haven't put the work in to go do stuff, but Spicy and Bryce and Paul, all those guys, and big Anthony last year, like they've been putting in the work to go do stuff. But how was your first big cross country trip for crew?
This was actually like my first trip I planned by myself too. Like I don't this was the first time I booked a plane ticket by myself. I didn't know if I was doing it right or not. I was the
Did you
entire time I
did
was
you get the
waiting for
laptop
the
out? That's the important thing.
I don't even have a laptop.
Oh God. No, I know.
But
That's the
yeah,
running joke is people our age, well, my age.
I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop and be like, "Oh, actually, you're not on this flight," and
Yeah.
everything went smoothly. But props to you guys that do the 5 a.m. flights. Holy shit! I had to get up at 2 a.m. on Friday. I flew in, got there at 10. I was pretty much a zombie. I was watching NASCAR on the way over, and then I rolled tide
Yep.
and I switched to the Arnold and I got my pump and iron and I got my second wind on the way over. But I stayed up till 10, slept, did Saturday. I left the Eagle early because I had another 5 a.m. flight.
Fucking quitter.
And yeah, I know.
And then,
Next time
but like, so yeah, now you kind of see how I feel. Like all the shit that I've been given by all you fucking locals of, oh, Keith left the bar at 11:15. What a pussy. And I'm like, yeah, because he's got to be at the airport at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m., etc. It's not fun.
No, you
Is
can
it
just show
that
up to the
or
airport drunk.
is it that or is it because you're tired? Because
Oh
I think
God,
it was about somewhere around 10 at the Eagle. You and I were talking. I was carrying a
I was
conversation with you,
hurting. I was
and you
hurting
just
at the
looked.
Eagle.
You looked me dead in the eye and said, "I'm done talking." And I was just like, "All right, I'll just go freak myself then."
Yeah. So I've noticed this about Keith just from like when he gets really tired is when like he sits and then he starts this like lean thing where
No,
like you know what I mean? Like he's like leaning to one side and it's like you don't know if his like back is hurting or like what's going on. But I'll look over and I think it might have been Jake or Debo, but was standing there and I was like, oh, Keith's tired. Because like
Oh.
every bar I've ever been to with Keith, eventually he starts leaning on something.
no, it was just
No,
so funny. Like he was doing that exact lean that you're talking about. I'm like just talking, and he just straight tells me and I don't necessarily think he was telling me he was done with the conversation. But he was just like and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna let this conversation die. And I was like, he's beat. He had a long
It
day,
was
and
such a good tonight. But I think I did get a second wind. Well, okay, well, let's just go. Like, I think we're equal time probably. We'll circle back to other stuff. But okay, so everyone left the expo to and then we had a 7:30 meetup at the Eagle, which some of you, maybe not maybe in this chat, but some of you fuckers in the Zoom, Hunter, I believe. It's like, or maybe it wasn't Hunter, maybe it was Debo. It was like, oh yeah, dinner's at 6. I'm like, no, it fucking isn't. It's at 7:30. Like, go eat something. If you're waiting to eat food and you're hungry now at 4:30, you better fucking go get some food because we're not eating until probably damn near 8. Like go get some food. But yeah, I think a lot of us. I think I rolled into the Eagle 7:15 or so, if they expecting to be like, oh, it might be the first one here. There was already like 20 people outside on the deck. I feel like, and then someone must have talked to the hostess and whatever, and they're like, yeah, you guys' room's ready. Just go ahead and head up. And so we were up there even well before 7:30. Amazing, setup, it's probably, it easily could have fit the 50, 60 that we had. If you were there last year, you weren't there this year. Last year we just had the small back room as just like a rented party, but like not like but it was like there was like three waiters and everyone was able to order off the menu. This year, Tanner and Tommy ate with Hogan's help, getting it all organized. I think Tanner paid the bill, but like they paid, X amount of thousand, call it a couple grand, whatever, up front to kind of get all this, or at least agreed to it. So also disclaimer, if you ate any food and you were at the Eagle or you consumed any of the open bar for the first little bit and you didn't fucking pay the $25, just go ahead and leave crew. Like, fuck off. We don't need you here. I'm assuming most people did, but you never know. This is your reminder. Get on there, DM Tanner, say, hey, I forgot to pay you. Like, let's not ruin a good thing, because if they make it to where it's harder to do this next year because like three assholes forgot to pay or something, I'm sure no one did it maliciously, but like, just please, please take care of the housekeeping on that, gentlemen and ladies. Nobody wants to fuck anyone over, but just with that many people and how Tanner passively said, "Oh yeah, if you ate food, pay," and I was just like, dude, somebody's not going to realize they have to pay for this, and it's going to be a shit show. So I just want the Eagle to continue to be a thing, and we need it to make it as seamless for Tanner and Tommy as possible. So pay your bill. So we get there. It wasn't supposed to be an open bar, but it ended up being an open bar for some portion of the night. I think some of the guys that were drinking didn't pay until the very end because they were just, it was, but they had a huge amount of food in the back for us, and like 40, 50 people were there, and they're like, all right, go eat. And, everyone got a plate and, had a few beers. And then I swear we talked, and I, had the Hall of Fame ceremony and talked till damn near midnight. Oh no, I was there till midnight. Like, anyone giving me shit, I closed that bar down. It was 12 o'clock and they said, all right, guys, you got to get out. And like, there was probably still 20 of us there that exited. Actually, no, there's probably 10 of us maybe that all exited right at midnight. And, I was kind of waiting to see if Tommy did his famous, all right, where are we going next? Let's go to the next bar. Let's go. We got to go bar hop, the Tommy special. But they were like, Tanner, let's get an Uber and go home. And I was like, all right, this night is over. So that was the quick overview of the Eagle, and now we can kind of get into the meat and potatoes, or the cheese and pierogi, if you will, or the potato and mashed noodles, whatever the fuck a pierogi is.
I did really like, and I think Daniel mentioned it earlier, how he got his jacket, and everybody was cheering and stuff. Or actually, did Paul got his jacket first?
Paul went first, yeah.
Yeah,
broke my goddamn hand when he shook it too.
And then everybody was, I mean, like, people were cheering, and then somebody started booing, and I thought that was perfect, just because it like really fit the vibe. And then, of course, Spicy Pizza got up there, and everyone's like tries to overdo the cheers for Paul, but it was good.
Enjoyable.
So. The Hall, I think the Hall of Fame ceremonies have gotten really streamlined and good as well. Like, they're just, I don't know. That's fun for me.
They're so efficient. Like, Tanner doesn't even bring his jacket anyway.
Yeah.
Tanner forgot his jacket. I almost forgot my jacket because like it was supposed to be my first event where I have access to maybe a secret meeting group of us of us elites, and usually it's like a reminder in there of some sort, but I was like, oh shit, I'm supposed to bring this, right? And Tanner like just gave it a thumbs up. I was like, okay, cool. But then I didn't get out of bed to pack it. I'm setting an alarm on my phone, or like a reminder to like at 4 a.m. go get jacket out of basement. And thankfully I did that because I would have been pissed.
You don't sleep in yours?
I mean, it's yeah. I sometimes
I just figured I figured you just wore the jacket to bed.
It's literally just
I had to Winnie Pooh it up of a decent amount, but that jacket, I don't know. I like a t-shirt, and nothing else. It was good.
He's just walking around everywhere he goes wearing nothing but the jacket.
Yeah, it would work. But yeah, I really don't think the Eagle could have for what we needed, because a lot of the biggest knock I feel on Arnold's past, or a lot of stuff past, is like, and it's not Tanner and Tommy's fault. It's just hard because like, are we going to have 30 people, 20 people, or 1,000 people that we need to like rent a room for to have food and drink and to have a place for us to congregate? And it's very hard to like know that necessarily in advance. So this year, really going out of their way to get a head count, to get food to get like literally like they're taking a shot too. Because if like say 20 of these assholes that's RSVP didn't show up, and then they're on the hook for more money, or they have to charge us more money or something. So really glad they took a shot on it and that we came through. And there had to be every bit of the people. I'm sure for anyone that RSVP that didn't make it, I'm sure someone that didn't RSVP did show up, because it was a lot of people in there. But that was very awesome. But I was getting at essentially, it's like sometimes it's not the most organized, or it's just kind of like hopefully they have room for us kind of thing. We've gotten a lot better at it over the years, but the Eagle was probably the most seamlessly easy. There's the bar, there's the food. We have this place for 5 hours. Have fun. Like that was awesome. There was no let's go get wool in our hair and have unhoused people talk to us as we try to find another bar to go to. Like that was the epitome of awesome for me. I mean, it sounds like
It
I
was
fell
good,
asleep.
but no story like that though came out of this
Yeah,
year.
I know. So it did make for a more bland podcast, but it was a more fun trip, I feel. Like
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
was more chill as far as we didn't have to worry about like as especially last year walking around and going to all the different bars and just to realize you're walking in and then turning right back around to find another place
Hmm.
and then just ending up right back at the Eagle anyways.
Yeah,
It made sense just to keep everything at the Eagle this
it
year.
was perfect. It was essentially it was as much credit and fun as I say Crew Falls is. This was like Crew Falls adjacent. This was the most like the Eagle was the most
Yeah.
Crew Falls adjacent thing I've ever experienced. But it was like a it was even better I feel because it was just like 5 hours of just no one could peel off and go their own way, and then like you get like the full experience. You could walk the room and meet everyone if you wanted to, and there was just such a large amount of people in the one spot, so it was fun. But before we
I
get
feel like I had
too
heard somewhere along the way that there was going to be like a hard cap of 50. And even if we got up to like, I don't know, say like 75, there probably still would have been room to move.
yeah,
And
that because
like,
that was my concern for next year. Say we sell this we sell the Arnold enough to people, and everyone else comes back, and 20 more come. Like, well, that would be the cap. I don't think you're getting more than 70 people in there.
yeah.
But
We might be selling the Eagle. I don't think we sold the Arnold anymore.
no. So we're gonna do a little Massonomics ad read, and we'll shit on the Arnold some more probably. Big Spicy, do you have anything for us?
I do. For those of you that are on the fence about joining crew, let this ad be the impetus for you to make the best decision you have ever made. Massonomics is a gaggle of silly geese who lift hard and live easy. For a small nominal fee per month, you can join the crew who are genetically modified to help you become the silliest goose and the strongest person you can be. Learn the best ways to consume cottage cheese from a George Foreman grill that will leave you champing at the bit for more. Harken back to when we were a proper country before Paul ruined every ceremony ever, because the true villains are the friends we made along the way. Certify your home gym at gymradar.com and find the shaft to blip to. Whether you're an introvert, extrovert, lone wolf, outsider, or a life of the party, there's a place and crew for you. Just don't be a dick.
Amen.
Well done. Yeah, we like to weed those out. There's a we I feel like one pops up every now and then in Discord, and then they'll probably see themselves out. Hopefully,
It
One
is kind of
pops up
that's
every
always
morning for
interesting to
me.
me. Yeah. That is interesting to me how it's like just kind of works its way out, seems like.
or they might still be there. They just don't comment anymore, and it's just like, oh, it's like, does that one person still here? It's like, oh yeah, they haven't canceled yet, but I haven't seen them post anything in 6 months, so I guess good enough.
Definitely not too many dicks that have worked their way in.
How
It's very hard to penetrate here.
yeah, how was the how were the bathrooms? I did obviously I had no liquid, so or at least not till the end, so I had nothing to expel. But how were the shitters, boys?
I had a liquid shit.
So you are the problem. Was it on like the? I mean, well
Did you
that
make it
was
to the toilet?
like
Oh yeah.
was that
No,
the one where you stepped away and you shit on the
Were
kid?
we,
Like
were we
no,
not
this
supposed
was
to use the urinal?
that was just an error. That was a
no, this was after my liquid shit fart. It was a little bit slippery in there, but there wasn't any standing water or anything like that. I only went in there once, and that was because I needed to go.
mm,
Otherwise, I went somewhere else. But yeah, it was. I didn't have any complaints.
that's good. I think I only have secondhand stories, and I heard it was okay, and I heard it was horrible. So kind of somewhere in the middle, I'm sure is where it was.
Yeah, so it was I went in once and it was everything seemed clean, which there was an attendant in there
Mhm.
Yeah.
when I was there. So everything seemed clean. But I don't know why, but the bathrooms are so humid there. I always go to the ones over by powerlifting because in my mind I'm like, okay, there's less people over
Yep.
here,
Yeah,
so I feel
those are
like the
the
bathrooms are gonna be
Mhm.
those
better.
are slightly less crowded, or at least
Yeah.
because they're crowded with power. I'd rather like be around powerlifters than broccoli heads anyway. So maybe it's just more of that too.
Yeah. Right. But I noticed like everything was so humid in there. Like I was at the urinal and just noticed there was like water dripping from the flusher. And I was like, this is crazy. But
I
other
think
than
it's
that, it was pretty good.
I think it's just all
Yeah,
the bodies, like the humans, like like we are the humidity, like because I know like when I'm in the basement, like if I have the couple times I've had 20 plus people in my basement, like I've had my pipes will start dripping, and it's not
Oh,
we're not
okay.
doing anything different. It's just the human body has to be putting off moisture of something. Like I'm not a scientist over here. We got some in the crew somewhere they can explain to us in the Discord, but
Debo, if he was here.
yeah, what the hell, Debo? If only I invited you. I'm sorry, bud. That's the trick. It's like I was gonna have 9 people on, and now we have four. So it's like it works out. So maybe I could have asked a couple more, but I feel this way. This is kind of the right number, I think, because like everyone's getting a chance to talk. No one's getting. I mean, I think we're doing good. I'm happy with this.
Yeah, Paul's not here. Fuck Paul.
Yeah, he's at work. He's saving teeth. Where were we at? We got the bathrooms, the Eagle, I guess. Let's talk about the anybody enjoy the food? I thought it was pretty damn good, but a little spicy for me on a lot of the stuff was spicy, but it was tasty. I was so hungry I would have eaten anything too, but it was good.
the food was really good. The plates they gave were
Could
like
have been
I
bigger.
felt like they
So
were really
small.
small. So it was really funny watching because like obviously this is a group of guys and girls who eat a little bit more. And so like just watching people walk away with just the just plates just so like overflowing with food. And there was no it's not like there was a shortage of food or anything. It was
No,
just the
God, no.
plates
We probably threw away food, but
the plates were just so tiny that you really had to pile them up. There was like a salad and stuff, and like I was like, I kind of want some of that, but I don't really want to spare the room on my plate, so I'm gonna
yeah.
skip over that.
I made the steak and went with a little salad, and then I was like, fuck. Then I just had to like put stuff on the salad. So I like the salad ended up being the last thing I ate because it was the first thing on the plate, and I had to unbury it. But it was all very good. So it would have
I have
been.
a
Yep, go
local
ahead.
fried chicken place around here that I've actually had recently. And the fried chicken that was there at the Eagle, like buries it, puts it to
Nice.
shame. Like I
It's
ended up
good.
having several servings of it. And there
Yep.
was still plenty of it left. Like, we were saying, I think I got like my last serving at like 11 o'clock or maybe like 11:30. It was awesome.
What were the balls right before, like the balls of dough or something right before? Is
Hush puppies, I think.
that what it was? Like, was there some kind of meat in it, or was it just straight up all just bread? It was so good. Like I ate like three of them. They were really tasty. It was like spicy cornbread. I don't know. We had cornbread too, but there was I feel bad. Like I would have liked to house some mashed potatoes, but like I didn't have room. Because like that was one thing. There was like an entire vat of mashed potatoes that I think got thrown out. Because I don't think we hardly anyone either. Maybe it was the second round of potatoes, but I remember like going back later. And I was like, there's just like we didn't touch these at all. That's so much food. Cornbread, chips, like a queso, mac and
Mac
cheese,
and
the
cheese.
salad, biscuits. I do think I think where because yes, as Tom and Brandon both mentioned, I think I fell asleep at one. I didn't, but like I definitely was hurting around 10 o'clock or so. But I had the best idea, and I was the highlight of my night as far as like ideas go was everyone was like, oh, they just put out more chicken, guys. Let's go get more chicken. And I'm like, I don't want to eat more chicken at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. But I was like, there were some biscuits in there, and there was some butter, and there was a big old thing of jelly. I was like, I'm gonna go eat like some biscuits and jelly. Like that was my dessert because there wasn't a dessert, which we don't, we're grown. Like I like dessert, so I went back and I made dessert out of like three biscuits, a bunch of jelly, and some butter. And then I think three people had followed suit and did that after me, and I'm pretty sure it was the best decision I made of the weekend. But Brandon, what you said that was pretty good idea to get some
Yeah, it was
biscuits.
pretty clutch because I did the same thing, but I think I had like five biscuits. So
Ah,
yeah, it was yeah, that was actually a pretty clutch move on your part.
I was happy with it. I was happy with it for sure. Just good conversation. I mean, I feel like it's the it's hard to. I mean, I still like doing the recap episodes because they're fun, but like it was definitely a lot less events. But also, we tried to get Bryce and Paul on. Bryce might pop in a bit, but I don't know. It's getting later. We'll see. Paul had to work. If anyone's listening, I tried to get Kurt on. Well, I should have reached out to Kurt earlier, but he's doing family stuff, so he wasn't available. Other Kurt, that is, Kurd, if you will. And we did get Tom. Tom was a competitor, so. I don't know. Did we miss any other? Was there any other buddy competing? Because I like to spotlight, competitors, and I initially had Paul and Spicy on because they were the newly minted Hall of Fame jacket, and Kurt was newly minted Hall of Fame cup, and so try to highlight people that did
I do want
something.
to shout out. I thought Paul's deadlift was like 635, which was pretty sweet. And
That was
then
badass.
is it 804 for Bryce for both his squat and deadlift?
Hmm.
That's pretty crazy. So
And finally clipped his to get his 2,000 pound total that he wanted. So
yeah,
if he doesn't come on, yeah, that's I'd love to hear it in person, but that's pretty damn cool. 2,000 pound
Wasn't
total.
Big Tyler Tomlinson competed
Oh yeah,
in
yeah, yeah. Good call.
amateur?
Yeah,
yeah,
yep, yeah. But that was I do acknowledge we have been saying it inaccurate. It's a pro am. It's basic. I mean, it used to always
Yeah.
be an amateur show. Now it's a pro am, but it's easier just to for layman's terms. It's still amateur strongman. It's Strongman Corp. They're strongman, not the actual Arnold strongman show like the big boys. But yeah, Tyler. I think he had some. I'm not gonna say injuries, but I think he had some setbacks going into it and didn't finish it where he wanted to, but don't think he got any more hurt or anything, so that's always good. And we did. Tyler was that was the cool part is 15 of us, 10 of us, whatever, talking by the g-wagon. Still don't know what that is. And Tyler fucking comes over just drenched in sweat, complete like in between events with his mouthpiece in and stuff, and it's just like shooting the shit with us and saying hi to everybody. I thought that was pretty cool. And it's just funny how sometimes I forget. Like if I see Tyler, once a year or once every other year, or well, pretty much once a year, and sometimes I forget that he's like what 400 pounds looks like and like a solid man. It's like, God damn, he
Well,
is.
and then like right around this, it wasn't too long after that or before. I think was it Trey Mitchell came over and was
Yes,
talking for a
yeah.
little bit. And
Like
like
a lot of you didn't
you're
know. A lot of people didn't know who Trey was. I think
yeah,
maybe it was Debo that didn't know who it was,
yeah.
and he ended up like photobombing him. Or like I remember seeing that. That was pretty funny.
I mean, just some massive they were massive. Speaking of that, seeing the picture of Bryce with Thor, and like they just look
Yeah.
like if you don't have context, it's just two dudes,
Yep.
like
Just
whatever. And I'm
100%.
like, so that was kind of
And then
funny.
he dwarfs Paul, and Paul's not a small man, so that was
yeah. Paul's like
I had
six
no
four.
yeah.
I had no idea how tall Paul was until I saw him because I've only ever seen him in like usually like Bryce is in a video with him when I see him.
Yeah. So yeah,
And so you like kind of lose
yeah.
sight of like
You
he's not
you
exactly a
you
short
forget
fella
that
either.
Bryce is 6'7". um, did anyone see there was at least a 7 foot tall dude at the Arnold. I remember
Yeah, I saw
like,
him.
and I'm like, I think my head came up to like his fucking belly button or something. I was like, you are, it was, I don't think I've ever stood next to someone that tall in my life. It was an experience. Very tall, Jude. And then there were just, I still can't get over how many short people there were. It was, but like short, like famous, well, quote unquote, famous people. I don't know. Like, I don't think I recognized him in 23, 25, or this year, but like, I don't know who any of these people, for the most part, getting pictures of themselves with like people getting stopped for pictures, other than like people that are already in our circle of like powerlifters and strongman. Like, I don't know if you're not a competitive lifter, if you're just a what is there a term, fit influencer? Like if that's all you do is lift, but you don't compete in anything, you just lift for Instagram. You're not a bodybuilder. You're not you do nothing except Instagram. Like I don't know who you are. Like I don't care who you are. But if
We're not
you're
missing much.
but there's just a
Did you
lot.
guys see while when we were over by the G wagon? There was a guy who like had like a crew of people following him, and he's actually like taking videos and stuff like in the G wagon. And me and Nate were trying to figure out like who he was, and there's
Like the '80s cocaine
nothing.
addict is what he was acting like, right? Like the guy that
There's
just
like nothing necessarily wrong with this, except for like if you're going to be an influencer at the Arnold, you should probably look like you lift. Like I would like you couldn't convince me that that guy lifts anything, and it's just like again in any other place it's fine, but you just would think an influencer at the Arnold would look like he power lift or strongman or bodybuild or just something.
oh one of the funnier things like 90% of people there are more physically fit than me, so I'm not saying anything like negative about the guy in front of me other than it was just funny. But he was wearing a shirt and it had some like cringy quote on the back. I don't even remember what it was. It wasn't alpha, but something along the lines of that, but it was a lot bigger. So it was supposed to like take up the entire like back spread and like the lat area. But like he didn't fill out the shirt, so like you couldn't really see the first or the last letter because it like just folded in on his smaller frame. And I'm like, you're not as it just made me laugh because I'm like, you're trying to wear a shirt that is like presenting this dominant man thing, and you literally can't fill the shirt out. So I don't even know what it says, and it's supposed to like fill up your back, but the shirt's too big for you. I just thought that was funny. Um, but as far as a selling point, like I always tell people, you got to go to the Arnold once. Like, uh, if you are a lifter, if you're in the community, whatever, like it's cool to do once. If you want to watch the pro strongman, I think that's the one thing I might go back for someday is to watch pro strongman. But also, Rogue spends hundreds of thousands of dollars probably on their production, or at least a significant amount of money. So like, I can watch it on YouTube on my couch if I don't go to the Arnold, or I can watch it on my phone, and it's so much more enjoyable than being in a room full of I don't know, however many thousands of people they let watch it. Like it just doesn't seem fun to me. Like, and I
For
like,
sure. I will say that there is something to be said though, like to be like right there for the huge lifts. Like my favorite part of it was being right there by the animal cage. And yeah, I got to see I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I think it's Zodel.
Justin Zodel.
Yeah, Justin Zodel.
what,
Got to see him hit a 925 squat and try 1,000 pound squat. And that's
damn,
just something you're not going to get to see
it's a raw,
very
like a raw 925. That's
No,
crazy.
he was in sleeves
Well,
wraps.
or
Yeah, wraps.
straps. Yeah,
well, even like not. I guess I meant not suited. Like
yeah,
so
not
classic.
suited.
Yeah, that's a
He failed the 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's set up bad.
Weak.
pussy. That's it. That is wild. That is like that's squatting some people's totals, and that's crazy.
He actually adjusted the weight while it was on his back. So it was in a mono and like, they took the hooks off and he's standing there with it and then like tried to get tighter while he was holding the 1,000 pounds. And that was terrifying. Like I was thinking about like what might happen under that kind of weight. But yeah, it didn't go so hot.
I heard they broke the mono at the WPPL meet, or they at least bent it or something in like the very first session, and that contributed to why I I don't know for a fact, but I heard a couple people tell me the third flight of the day wasn't over till 11ish, which is wild. Like I couldn't. I would just have left probably. Like I'm just be like I'm good. Like I'm not gonna finish. I'm just gonna go
Just
home
make
now.
everybody walk it out at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I honestly don't know what happened with that. Like,
Oh,
I
okay.
think as far as I don't think they just went and got a second mono. I think they just were able to. I really don't know what happened, but
Yeah, that would
um,
be terrible.
my buddy, because I have a friend that competed in the second session. Well, I guess I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Paul and Bryce were first or second, but either way, I think they must have been in the second session probably. But because it was basically, I think it was based on dots. So like the first session was like this amount of dots and under. The second session was this amount of dots and under, and the third session was over this amount of dots. But yeah, my one buddy said it was super hot in there, which like I don't know. I guess I don't know what. I don't know if Dave was rocking the flames or what, but he said he was cramping up all day because it was just miserably hot. So I do feel bad for that, but it did sound like Paul and Bryce both had really fun experiences and good times. Like I know I've heard positive things about the meet overall, heard some negative things, so take that with a grain of salt. Like there's possibly a reason Dave's not around anymore for, Live Hard Live Easy, but he's still doing his thing and that works out. So, good luck to him and his future endeavors. But I know we didn't want to have a Lift Hard Live Easy that goes to 11 o'clock or even past 3 or 4, honestly. So I'm glad that won't be a problem, hopefully. But let's see. Crew card.
Just got to do one shout out real quick to
Yeah.
just Hogan and Nicole for thank you for picking up those plates for me. And there's kind of a funny story
Oh, I
with
do
that
want to hear.
too.
I do want to hear this.
Yeah.
Set up the whole story and tell
Okay.
it to me. Like,
So
yeah, it's a good one. This is worth telling.
all right. So Jakey actually probably tells it better, but
Is he
so
here?
Jakey and I, yeah, he's gone now.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we could have asked him to come on. So Jakey and I, he rode up with me. He lives like 30 minutes away from my house, just in southern Indiana. And so we're driving up, and the first place we go to is Hogan's before we actually go to the convention, find parking and all that stuff. And Hogan has texted me his code to get in his house. He's like, "Yeah, I got some some people here in town that are going to go to the Arnold. So just let yourself in. Here's the code. Just mind the cats, make sure they don't run out, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, cool. So we walk up and I see Hogan's truck there. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they Ubered it, is kind of what I was thinking. Maybe they didn't want to pay for parking or whatever. So it's way past the time, or not way past, but it's past the time that they would have already left. So I thought. So I put the code in and just walk in. So I walk in first to the door. And of course, he lives in a split level house. So basically, staircase here, staircase going down, staircase going up, staircase going down, and you're on a landing. And I look up and these his guests are there and there's no Hogan in sight. So it just looks like we're just breaking into his house at this point. And then like I don't know what it is in my head where I'm just like I don't know what to say, but I know how it looks. I know that it just looks like I'm just breaking into this guy's house and he probably doesn't know me. So I'm like, I promise we're supposed to be here, is what I said. But I was maybe a little too assertive, you know what I mean? Because I was trying to like please believe me. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to explain that we were supposed to be there. And then Jake was like, well, we had the code. And I was like, oh, yeah, we have a code. We came in or whatever. And either way, we just caught them off guard and probably scared them to death. So apologize to them. But finally, Hogan came out of the shower whenever it was good. He gave us the full tour. Hogan's gym's awesome.
Of the shower?
Of the shower, yes. Yeah. Of the shower. But no, his gym is awesome. But
bigger or smaller than you expected?
I kind of knew going into it because I knew he said it was a 1-car garage. Mm-hmm. So I think in my head I had kind of made it to be smaller, but the space, he uses the space very well. So like Absolutely. He has so much equipment in there.
It's wild.
And it's just like, it's jam packed, but it's also jam packed in a way where everything is still usable. Like very you can pull everything absolutely. Out and use it. Yeah. He still has a big space in the middle that he's got that new, Rogue bench. I say new, it's probably been out a couple of years, but like the one that's
Manta Ray.
Yeah, it looks like it weighs like 1,000 pounds. It's pretty cool though. But yeah, it's a cool gym.
I did enjoy that story in person. It was good.
Yeah, it was probably better in person than on here. Jake is a little bit more animated when he tells it. So.
Yeah, Kurt, how'd your vehicle troubles end up faring out? Because when last I saw you, you were like, "Hope my battery starts tomorrow morning." I'm like,
yeah,
you want to start that tonight?
There's lots of cool stuff I guess you could pick up at the Arnold. I had a buddy who asked me to get him a T-shirt that I had to wait in line an hour to get. That was the least fun.
I hate buddies like that. I hate buddies like that.
But yeah, my souvenir ended up being a car battery that I didn't even need to buy. That's something I picked up from Columbus. I tried to be as careful as I could about this trip. So I got my car checked out about a week and a half before and said, hey, just, check the fluids, just make sure that I'm good to go. And my mechanic, who I trust, told me everything was good. All of a sudden, when I got to Columbus, I stopped to get something to eat. And then when I tried to restart my car, it started, a little rough, but I'm like, whatever, just ignore it. Hopefully, still have a good time. Then the next time I tried to start it, it was even rougher. So I figured, I guess I should probably go get this checked out. And when I went to AutoZone, the guy who helped me out was wasn't the most professional person in the world. Let's just say that. And ended up, testing my battery, but told me I needed a new battery. And so later on, when I tried to restart it again, it was the worst that it had been the entire time. So I was just like, shit.
Wasn't the fucking battery.
And I'm worried for a couple reasons. One, like, I hope I can get home. I live 7 hours away. Two, like, am I going to have to smoke the entire Saturday taking care of this car issue so that I don't get stuck there for a couple more days? So I ended up talking to both Chris Daminger and my brother, who are both mechanics. And through those conversations, I was able to sort it out that it could have been the gasoline that I bought. There's been like a lot of issues that people have been saying about like watered down gasoline kind of preventing rough starts. So I ended up buying just this like $2 product, not a $200 car battery, but rather just like $2 fuel additive that ended up fixing the problem instead.
Nice. I'm glad that worked itself out. I was kind of worried for you because you did not seem confident when I talked to you, and I knew you might not be in the best state of mind the next morning to fix it.
No, but all's well that ends well.
But I will pick on your vein there. I did like that least fun, most fun. So let's go around the room. Big Tom, least fun, most fun, the Arnold.
I'd say the least fun was definitely the crowds. And I'd say the most fun was it's definitely the meeting up at the Eagle afterwards, like just the number of people and like at some point we were all trading like stickers and the crew cards.
Guys,
The
so
wait
much.
the bartenders over at the Eagle were kind of like asking me like what they were, what we were trading because I think Big Spicy had got my card and Tanner was like, "Oh, you should sign it." So I was signing it for him, and we had to get a pen from one of the bartenders, and she was asking me about it, and so I was like, then had to explain
We're all
like
famous. Like
it went into
we're
like
just
this
all famous.
explanation of like what Massonomics is, which is as you guys all know, it's like kind of funny to try to tell, but like they were just in disbelief that we were from all over and like that was the first time a lot of us had met in person just because how everyone was interacting like you're like they knew each other forever. Ended up giving them a couple of nice stickers too. They were seemed happy about that, so that's probably the most fun.
Nice. Big Brandon, what do you think? Least fun, most fun the whole weekend?
Uh, yeah, I think a lot of these are going to sound fairly similar,
Yeah,
but
I should have
but
prepared
no,
better. If you
no,
have a
this is
different
good.
least fun, most fun you want to answer, like I
No,
don't.
this is good. So least fun, I'm going to piggyback and just I'm not gonna say the whole convention because I did still kind of find some value in walking
Yeah,
around and seeing different booths and stuff. Um, of the least fun part of it, I do think that I really like seeking out like the little strength challenges and things like that. But other than that, there wasn't a lot there for me anymore, hardly. Most fun is gonna be the Eagle, and then also just hanging out, like actually going on a trip with Jake was fun, just because it was like the whole time there was somebody to bounce stuff off the whole, like I don't think that we left each other's side the entire time. So it was kind of like this, I don't know, it was like a good camaraderie trip too. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was really good. And then I thought the crew cards were just awesome too. Just like I mean, not that they were cool in the first round also, but maybe just because I got like 9 of them this year, I
Yeah,
thought
we
they
get
were really cool.
bonus. That is the bonus of going to in-person stuff is you get all this cool shit for sure.
And the Arnold card was cool too.
Yeah, I
So
did like that, and I think I have a couple extra too. Tanner's like, "Oh, mail these out with your next sticker batch." I was like, "Oh, good idea. We can do that."
I'm gonna trade mine.
That's a good call. Fuck giving away. I got trade bait. Anybody got any cool shit? I got two 2026 Arnold Massonomics cards that are up for grabs. But I will not charge shipping that I paid plus the shipping to you like some people might. But
Nice jab to throw in there.
oh, that's an asshole. I am. All right. Kurt, we already know your least fun. What was your most fun?
I mean, least fun. I'll reiterate again. Not being able to see the pro strongman was definitely
Oh,
the
it wasn't that it wasn't the car.
Oh,
Okay.
there you
Okay.
go.
I thought it was gonna be
yeah
the car.
yeah. Figuring out the car was a victory. That ended up being
Well, there you go.
the
There it
silver
is.
lining. Most fun. I'll try to get as specific as I can here. Some of the conversations at the Eagle, we had said earlier, like it's great the online community we have, but like getting to meet people in person is just a whole nother thing. Getting to see Big Derek is always a lot of fun. I met Big Alex. That was really cool. Some of the conversations I got to have with him. And I went back and forth with Buzz a couple times, like on Instagram about different things. So getting to meet him in person was really cool. And
Who's
these
Alex?
mesonomic
Who's
events
Alex?
are
I'm
awesome.
drawing a blank on Alex.
The taller guy, doctor,
Oh, the urologist.
Oh,
Naptime
Naptime Barbell.
Barbell. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
I didn't know his
yeah,
name,
Yeah,
but
he was
I
great.
yeah,
Big
yeah.
Clayton was awesome too. I
Big
hadn't met
Clayton was
Oh
him.
walking around with a
Yeah.
fucking non-alcoholic beer, and I'm like, is this? I know I know his dad's a little loose, but is he letting his kid get in shitty at a bar? I was like, okay, no, it's NA. I was like, okay, that's somewhat better, I guess, but still,
It's still pretty funny. Like it fit his personality so
yeah.
well,
Totally.
though.
for sure.
He was cool. He was happy to be there, and they were there for a while too. Like he didn't. It's not like they left at like 8 o'clock or anything. They were there for a bit. Um,
And who's the guy that runs the bar gym reviews? What's his name? Because I met him
Yeah,
and had a conversation. He's actually really
I
cool.
met him
Um,
briefly, and I want to say it's Anthony or Antonio.
oh, it might be Anthony.
I don't want to
Yeah, but
butcher it.
he seems
He
like a
friended me
super
on
cool dude.
Facebook today, actually.
Okay.
But yes, I think I think he'll have an upcoming gym tour, but
Yes.
um, I can't find it off the top of my head. But yeah, I don't think it was one of those like we didn't introduce ourselves, but like we were talking to someone that like we mutually knew, and then we just kind of like had a conversation. So it was like sometimes I feel like I'm not the best. Like I need to be better about introducing myself, but as you iterated earlier, how tired I was. I think by the time I had met some of these people, it's just like if you're not going to introduce yourself to me, we're just going to have a random conversation and not actually know who each other's names are off the top of our heads. So it just kind of is what it is. But it is overwhelming because even though you know 80% of people in the room, not knowing that 20%, it's like you just don't have the time or energy to get to know the rest of them. But you get to know. I mean, I still met a bunch of people, but there was a handful where it's like I probably should have made a slightly more of an effort to be like, I don't think I've ever seen that human's face before. Maybe I should talk to him. But there's always next year. Uh, my guess, I'll let Spicy go, and then I can round it out.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of my least fun was I was tired the entire time, but getting to meet all the new people, that was super fun. I guess my most fun has got to be a split between touring the shoe and actually being shotgun for the first time and having Kurt drive me rather than me drive Kurt. Because I've been the one
That's funny.
driving Kurt at Lift Hard Live Easy and two of the crew falls. So it was kind of nice to have him over and have him drive for a change.
Nice. Did you guys Airbnb or hotel?
We hoteled.
Nice. I guess so. My least fun, most fun. Normally, I'm gonna go to order just because I can knock out the most fun first because I had a lot of least funs. And I'll kind of cover a couple of my stories. Most fun. I think that's a tough one. I mean, the Eagle as a whole for sure, but specifically, I think my first my inaugural being on the other side of the Hall of Fame jacket kind of ceremony. So like getting to run up there and pull my jacket on and kind of just looking out at the crowd of like this is such a niche thing. Like we're such fucking dorks, and it's wild that we're in a club where you get fucking members only jackets, and we're like we range from 12 to fucking 60 years old, and we all have like a couple things in common. It's the fucking weirdest thing ever. And then to look out in a room and there's just like 40 people looking at you, 50 people looking at you, and you're like in the top upper echelon, welcoming the other upper echelon was just pretty cool. So I really enjoyed that. I think as far as most fun, it's just being on this side of the Hall of Fame this year. Least fun, there was a lot. My travel woes getting there. So Rochester, New York to Columbus is call it 5.5, no stops. So 6 minimum with just getting gas once and maybe pissing once. So we were going to slow roll it and kind of maybe get in to where we could kind of catch a little bit of the Arnold. Stephanie probably wouldn't have gone to the expo. I would have caught the last couple hours, essentially what did end up happening. But when Tanner threw something in the group chat about a lunch meetup, I was like, well, fuck, now I want to not miss the lunch. So instead of leaving at like 8 or 9, we left at fucking 4:30 or 5, I think it was. Maybe it's 5. And we were basically we were going to get right into Columbus around 11, be able to get our car parked at the hotel. We couldn't get into the hotel. We could at least get our car parked and then figure out some shit and head over to lunch. Halfway down there, we get a flat tire and end up spending 3 hours at a Walmart after we got towed and got it patched and got on the road. The funny thing was we lost 3 hours and kind of ruined the getting to lunch, but they didn't have to replace the tire or anything. It was just they were able to patch it from the inside. $16 or something. So like the most comically low amount of financial investment, but it cost me like such a portion of the day that it was just so frustrating. But it could have been worse. We could have been stuck there for hours, even more, because there was either a Walmart or a garage, and the garage was essentially like you can drop it off, but it ain't gonna be ready until like we're closing at the earliest. And Walmart was like, yeah, we only have 2 people in front of you. You're probably good. And then we get there, and the guy was a complete dick when we checked in, and he was like, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of people in front of you. I don't know when we can get to you. And I'm like, motherfucker, we just talked to you on the phone 10 minutes ago, and you said there was 2 people in front of us, and you'd be able to get us in just fine. And nonetheless, that was 3 hours of our life we'll never get back, but got back on the road. But prior to the blowout was probably the worst thing, honestly, that happened is I was potentially the closest I've ever come to dying as an adult, I feel. We were in Erie, so about 3 hours out of Rochester, 3 hours away from Columbus, give or take, so that halfway point, getting breakfast. We're at a left-hand turn lane, crossing 2 lanes of traffic, or, 2 lanes going north, 2 lanes going south. We're in a turning lane, so technically it's a third lane. We have a green light. Car in front of us goes, so obviously the light's like been green for several seconds. That car makes it through the intersection. Stephanie's, making sure she's going, and there's a car coming uphill at like 60, 70 miles an hour. Just no chance they were stopping, no chance they even knew they had a red light, just barreling right at us. We're in the middle of the fucking intersection. Maybe we kind of were just starting, but so we were still in the road, but we were closer to the turning lane than we were like in the middle of the road, I guess. And so I reach over, I'm riding, I'm shotgunning it up because Stephanie drives the majority of the time because she gets car sick if I drive. So works out good for me, but almost killed us this time. But not saying it's Stephanie's fault, obviously. No, like if anything, regardless, I wouldn't have seen him either if I wouldn't, I would just happen to be in the passenger seat looking dead ahead and I just see this fucking SUV barreling at me. And not at a speed that it would have been bad. Like I don't know what getting blindsided at 60 miles an hour would have been, but it wouldn't have ended well, at all. And so I was able to reach over, and my instincts were like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna yell stop, like, and Stephanie's gonna know what that means, like, but then we're gonna get rear-ended from behind us because that person's just gonna be knowing that they have a green light and they're just gonna go, or the person in front of us still isn't gonna know that they're running a red light. So I instinctively just reached over and just laid on the horn and didn't let off, and was just like screaming to Stephanie to stop. And I don't even remember if I said anything. I think I was just in shock that all I could do was just reach over and but then she was to hear her tell it back, like I was impeding her ability to cut the wheel to the right to kind of get out of the way because I guess I just wasn't letting go of the horn, which I didn't. I mean, I don't know. I kind of think she still could have because I wasn't like blocking her hand. She just had to like use the steering wheel. So I don't know. But anyway, the car ended up not hitting us, but my God, it was close. They had to have seen us at some point because they ended up swerving. It's still all kind of blurry. Like I remember everything leading right up to them flying by us. So like it was one of those like fucking light flashes before your eyes kind of thing. So it was terrifying. We get through the intersection. We're just like, fuck. It's just like we get out of the car. It was. I have in hindsight, it's like I almost wanted to call the cops because like were they drunk? Were they on something? Like you don't. And there were other red lights within like a few hundred yards of that. So there's no way they made it through they had to have run other lights leading up to that because like that light that they were at was red for a while. Like the amount of speed that they were coming at, and like granted, I'm not a speedometer, but you can tell the difference between someone going 30 and 40 or like 60 plus. Like there's no way this car was going less than 60 miles an hour uphill. So they were just gunning it. I don't know. That really shook us up. That shook both of us up. And then we got the flat tire a half hour later. So that was our travel. So two horrible experiences, but somehow the getting a flat tire was significantly easier to handle emotionally than, it really shook Stephanie up because she's obviously had well, not obviously, but she has a major neck surgery. She's missing vertebrae in her neck. So if like she can't go on roller coasters, she can't ride, like she can't do anything that would give her whiplash at all. It could potentially like be very, very bad and end her life. So if she got in a bad car wreck that someone normally might be able to survive, she might not. So that's why it's even more terrifying for us. So that was my least fun. And yeah, that was the least fucking fun thing I've had in a couple years, I think. And it could have just been so much worse. Like the unpaid underrated podcast could just be a one-man show if things went differently this weekend. So I'm glad to be here. And we have this game.
We have this game we like to play.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't. Yeah, so that was that. Brandon, you want to tell the people about that fucking picture you took of me? And that.
Oh yeah. So, that was I can't remember. That was an accident. That was.
That was late at the Eagle. So the Keith Head photo that had popped up earlier this week that a lot of people have seen.
Yes.
It's the most blurry eye. So like. The Keith lean that was mentioned earlier, that's probably the face I might make if I didn't have a light in my face. It's just that like so yeah, I don't even know what happened. You just take your phone out. I don't know if you're just like, I'm gonna take a picture of my buddy. but you didn't realize your flash was on or it was auto
Yeah.
flash, and it's
I
in like
don't.
a very dark bar, and you have a goddamn the brightest LED light in my life. So I'm literally my eyes are closed because I am blind, and
I think I was gonna take a regular, I have this like thought every once in a while, like when I'm with all you guys, and I'm like, I should take more pictures. So I think that thought came across my head, and where I was either gonna take a picture of everyone at that table or something. I don't know,
you
but
did get a
it ended
handful
up
of
being
good aerial pictures throughout the evening, just not that one.
no, not that one. But this one, it was like, I don't know, centimeters from your face, and it was super bright, and I'm sure you went blind for
Oh, I was
minutes.
that might have been the most like I was mad. Like I was like briefly mad, but I was honestly like if I told you to go fuck yourself, it was sincere in the moment because it hurt. Like my eyes
Was
hurt.
that better or worse than me spitting in your mouth after you
Uh
falls?
so I was more drunk when you spit in my mouth accidentally. So like I probably didn't because
Accidental.
accidentally. Yeah, yeah. I think I think I only had 4 or 5 beers at the Eagle. Because Stephanie reiterated multiple times, like, you have to help me drive home tomorrow. We have to, like, the whole thing that she was like, yes, we can go to the Arnold, but I want to leave at like super early in the morning so we can still be home by like lunchtime. And I was like, all right, cool. And that was still horrible. There's a whole funny story about that too that I can I'll end with later
That
maybe.
was impressive. When I saw that on the Discord the next morning, I think at like 10:30, you were like, "All right, home safe," and I was just like,
So okay, so since we're there, no, it was we got home at 11:30. So she pulled a fast one on me. So okay, we closed the Eagle
Oh,
midnight, and I get back to, we spent a obnoxious amount of money to get the hotel. Well, we, as in Stephanie, booked a room and didn't tell me how much it was, and I'm sick to my stomach when I found out how much it was. But nonetheless, neither here nor there. But I had the most convenient location because I it was a less than a 10-minute walk from my hotel room to the expo, and it was less than a 5-minute walk from my hotel to the Eagle. So I couldn't have had a better setup, but I would have much preferred to save significant amount of money and just Uber. But nonetheless, um, we part ways 12:05, 12:15, whatever, something like that at the Eagle, and get back to the room, call it 12, 12:15 ish, and people upstairs had just gotten back. They had kids of some like I don't know some kind of adolescents because it wasn't just like normal people talking and just walking around. It was the most rambunctious like jumping off furniture, jumping up and down. I felt like someone was doing fucking jumping jacks or something because it wasn't just like the constant talking or the giggling or even the yelling. It was the sheer impactful like shuddering of the floor, stomping and jumping that like shook our ceiling in our room. And that went on for at least an hour after I got back to the hotel.
Keith,
So
have you considered this wasn't kids and it was somebody making kids?
no,
Like,
I was gonna I think earlier when I was doing my monologue they were doing everything except that. I feel like because it wasn't there was like more than two people. Not that you can't have more than two people to do that, but
they've
it
got a
wasn't
name
that.
for
I would have I could have fallen asleep to that. Not so bad, I'm sure. But to this point, like around,
I don't even know what that means.
like that's just peaceful noises. Like, that'd have been fine. This was just
Is that like
obnoxious.
when people fall asleep to white noise? Is that what you put on your
I mean, I
phone?
do. I so
Man,
so
you're
that
just
is
like,
so
Some sort of white noise in
I am
there.
a white noise connoisseur, like white noise. So I have like a little, uh, like a USB white noise machine that I use. That wasn't making a dent in it, and Stephanie can't really stand how loud it is. So it's not like I could put it on level 10. So once 45 minutes or so of me just sitting there being pissed off, trying to fall asleep, went by. I got my Bose like my podcast headphones on and just cranked a Spotify pink noise. That's what I listen to when I'm trying to fall asleep when on Spotify is pink noise. I don't know what like wavelength it is. It's supposed to be calming and peaceful. I don't know. So I ended up falling asleep. Call it 2 o'clock, the earliest for sure. And the next thing I know, she's like, "All right, you ready to go?" And I'm like, "It's like 4:30." And I'm like, "Okay, I got 2.5, 3 hours of sleep. Sure, I guess I'll get up and take a shower and let's go." And we're out of the hotel by 5:30. And it wasn't until I was a good bit on the road when I was like, "You fucker, it's daylight." It's like I did because she kept telling me that I got like at least 3 or 4 hours of sleep, I think. And then I'm like doing the math after realizing it's daylight savings, and I'm like, I didn't even get 2 hours of sleep, you fuck. Like, what the shit? But also, I was like, once I realized that, it's like, I'm not fucking driving. Like, I'm sorry. Like, no, like, you wanted to leave way early. Like, I get, she wanted to get home. I get it. I'm glad it happened. But, like, I was physically not feeling good. Like there was no like I wasn't hungover, I wasn't drunk. Like I was just hurting. I think I was still emotionally drained from the day before with all the shit. So she was a champ. She drove from Columbus basically to Buffalo ish, and then I kind of carried it the rest of the way. So I drove like the last hour. So it wasn't so I contributed a very small amount. Did I get a picture? Did I get a picture of what, Daniel? Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, the podcast.
Yes,
Okay.
I did, but I think Kurt was drinking, so someone feel free to take a couple good ones because I was kind of hoping Bryce would pop in and we could get a picture with that, but we'll see. Um,
Looking out for you.
yeah, no, I appreciate you, brother. I was like, did I get a picture of the kids? Like, I don't know so yeah, that was least fun for sure. Let me just go through my notes. Is there anything big anyone wanted to
We
chat
went to
about?
Rogue on Sunday
Okay,
after. Yeah,
Ooh.
that was kind of cool. I never last time it just didn't work out when I was at the Arnold.
was it on your
So I
radar?
mean,
Did
it
you hear
was on
about
my radar.
Did you hear about
Yeah.
Rogue through Jim Radar? That's I've
I
heard about
did.
a
Yeah,
lot of
I had
companies.
never heard
Yep.
of Rogue Fitness before
Nope.
Jim
Jim
Radar.
Jim
So
Radar put them onto my
Mhm.
radar.
I think Radar actually kind of put Rogue on the map. So
That's
Oh, for
fair.
sure.
I
They
mean,
weren't even
it's
a
yeah,
blip before.
no, they
I mean,
weren't.
I only came
Uh,
to Columbus because of Jim Radar, not the Rogue. I mean,
but that whole like operation is just kind of impressive. I mean,
yeah.
and then so I know that Hogan bought all my plates for me. I mean, I paid him back, but he got them all from the garage sale there. So I was like, I wonder if that garage sale is still going on. So I go there and
I think it's
I
like it's 24/7. Or I mean, it's
it's all the
always
time,
it's
which I
always a
didn't.
thing. They just
Correct.
it
It's
used
not
to be
always like
like
super stocked, I guess. It used to just be certain times, right?
yeah. Well, I think like I remember like 10 plus years ago seeing on like Instagram and Facebook where it's like there's people at the gate sprinting to go like pick up like $100 barbells off pallets and shit. Now it's just like they price everything reasonable and they just have a back room that's just always available for you to just walk through. And it's I think
Yeah.
all I think any plate is $1 a pound, no matter if it's like the shittiest plate in the world or if it just happens to be like a competition kilo plate that just got returned and was scratched up. So it's the luck of the draw. That's why Hogan goes to the warehouse once a week, I think, because he never
Yeah.
knows what's going to be in the pile.
And that's what, so I kind of gave Hogan a standing order of, if you find plates, decent plates or whatever, just snag me some. And I get a message out of nowhere and he was like, how much do you want? And I was like, can you get like 800 pounds? Like, so, it wasn't quite that much, but he got a lot. And then when I went with Jakey, I was like, I found another like really good set of reds. I was like, I'm going to grab those. And then Jake got the curl bar attachment. I mean, it's not even that old. I think it's only been
Mhm.
around a year or two or whatever. And seems pretty legit though. But it was a cool experience. The showroom was really cool. They were super helpful, and I don't know, it was fun.
How is the so you have like seven, however many pairs of reds. Have them all lined up? Are these like identical paint or is it like a little
So
bit
the
of
color is all matching pretty well,
okay?
but the condition is definitely varies.
Oh
Like,
well
so there's
that'll
some,
I'd rather
yeah,
have
there's
that
some that
than
are like super beat up, and then some that aren't.
I'd be fine with
Uh,
that as long as they match.
yeah,
It would
and
irk
I
the
actually
shit out
kind
of
of
me if they were
like,
slightly different color.
they're not different colors. Like they all match in the color, which is cool. But I don't mind that look either. The
No.
paint coming off and stuff like that. It's not a big deal. So,
Nice,
but a
nice.
dollar a pound, you just can't beat that.
And any equipment in the showroom itself you're able to try out where you were like, oh, maybe I'll put this on my wish list, on my Jim Radar wish
That
list.
I don't know if you've seen it. It's like that multi grip press bar they have that
Hmm.
is like it's like the MGCN
Yeah,
or something like that.
yeah, they,
That was pretty cool. I tried that out, and then um, I don't know, like I've tried a few other things that I had already tried before, but
they still have
yeah, it was pretty
They
neat.
still have Denny Stone replicas and on a platform in the corner.
Not that I saw. I
Oh,
did
okay.
try they had a ghost combo still set up for some reason, even though they don't sell them anymore.
Yeah, no, that's shitty.
Yeah, so, but the
I
ghost
would
The
have.
combo is
Denny's
pretty
were there
cool.
in December.
Okay.
We took the family down in December and I got a lift in at Hogan's and lift's a strong word. I tried out some of the implements that are going to be into the hard live easy that I haven't like used, but I was feeling pretty beat up, so I didn't lift too hard that day. But anyway, we took the family and went to Rogue, and the kids were just climbing all over everything. My daughter's 3, my son is 1.5, so they were like loving it. But they had the Denny Stones there, and back then,
I I do want to go. I think we can go around the room in a little bit. I want to kind of hear about everyone's upcoming plans for Live Hard, Live Easy. But real quick, I'm gonna hit you with our affiliates: Obsidian, Plate Snacks, and Belt Fed Strength. Go ahead and use code UNPAID at all those locations. Save you a little bit of money. Big Kurt, you're competing this summer? What you doing? What you doing, buddy? You coming out to Aberdeen again?
Hell yeah, coming out and doing the full power again. So
Nice. That's second or third? Because
it's meet,
you
and I don't
second year,
have
right?
any. I don't have any plans to do any other meets in the interim. So I'm saving it all for this July.
Nice, nice, nice. Spicy, you're running back the powerlifting, I'm assuming.
Sure am. I'm going to be driving Kurt down, so
Oh,
it's
you're
going to be
doing
a lot of fun. Oh yeah, I was
nice.
the entire time I was at the Arnold. I'm like, I'm so ready to actually like lift with everyone again. It's going to be so fun.
Nice. Let's see, Brandon. I know what you're doing, but what do you tell the fans? Used to be your
Yep.
inaugural Lift Hard Live Easy
Inaugural.
experience.
Yep. Lift Hard, Live Easy, and inaugural official powerlifting meet. So I'll be doing powerlifting, and yeah, no real goals other than just not bomb out and have fun with my buddies.
No, you said you were gonna chip Bryce's total.
Yeah, no,
You
I'll
said
be
you were
off
gonna.
that. I'll be off by like 500 pounds on his total. So
That's close. I'd be off by 900, so that's fair. It's you got me beat. And Tom, you're going all in on strongman, right?
Yeah, I like to say after since I got done fighting this weekend, I'm going to get back to strongman.
If you don't know what that reference
Mhm.
is, ask and Mofo will share a 2-minute video. Actually, just listening to this, Mofo, share that video in the you chat for me this week, please.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really proud of that one. I thought of it yesterday, and I was like, that is
It's pretty
funny.
good.
Too
It's
funny.
pretty
I'm
good.
glad we set you up for that because that would have been disappointing not to hear that.
Yeah, so no, yeah, so I'm excited. I've never done any kind of any like weightlifting or like powerlifting or strongman comp, and really excited about that. It's kind of funny. I just in like November, I was like, you know what, I want to kind of get away from just doing the three main lifts. Maybe I'll try like make some DIY strongman implements and just add that into my training. And so I was asking some questions in the Discord, and Jake, Jake the Snake said, he's like, "Hey Tom, have you heard about the Big But New?" And that was all it took. I was like, "Hey, you know what? That sounds like a great idea." So signed up and
That's
gonna give it a
awesome.
go.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Jake, I'd actually I was very happy that I was able to I texted Jake this week and I was essentially said I either had conversations with or overheard conversations with minimum a half dozen people that did nothing but just give glowing reviews on his coaching, and this varied from people that just did because I believe Jake has like a 3-tier system, or maybe it's 2-tier, but I know he has a tiered system of pay X amount at a lower rate and just essentially get like, here's your program, and if you really need something, I can modify it, but it's not really not what you're paying for. And then there's the one where it's like you pay a decent amount more probably, and you can get a lot more regular check-ins and this, that, and the other. So I'm not putting words, go on his website, it'll tell you all about it. But he has a tiered system, and I didn't hear someone shit on one and praise the other. It was like across the board. Multiple of our friends, like not like there was no one there, like they weren't. Like it wasn't like Jake was. They weren't like sucking up to him or anything. Like they were genuinely like, no, like I was having this issue and I talked to him about it and this was the suggestion and this was the solution, or this is just it was really cool to hear my friends talk about my other friend in such a positive manner. So I really enjoyed that, and I did share it with Jake, and he seemed pretty happy to hear that. So that was a cool little highlight of the weekend for me. Stephanie's reaction to the new Keith face was she literally thought it was a selfie that I took. And I had to write that one down because I was going to forget that. And I was like, wait, because she was like, why did you take a picture of yourself? I'm like, I didn't. Because I do send her a lot of selfies. And if I send her a selfie from like the bedroom, like if I'm laying in bed and it's dark or something and I send her a selfie and she's at work or something. And if,
The Burt Reynolds
yeah,
selfie.
well, yeah, well, it's just like, it ends up just being just like my
It's
face
a whole
squinting.
different Keith head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. Dick joke. Good stuff.
I will say that the new Keith had created like 20 minutes of meme gold on the
Oh,
Discord.
yeah.
Oh
So that
my
was
god.
pretty good.
Fit Matt Fat Matt did win it with the like I
Oh
don't
yeah.
like I actually like made that a main post because I was like, man, that's got like it's it's funny. It's relevant. It's new. It also dug up old lore. Like it was good. It was very funny. I enjoyed that. I laughed at that immensely. All right, we talked about that. We talked about that. We talked about that. All right, so Arnold 2027, who's coming back? Okay, let me phrase it. Arnold crew weekend at the Arnold. Who's coming back, and what do they think they'll partake in?
I'll be back. I mean, I'm 3 hours away, so I mean, it's not too bad of a drive.
Yeah,
Especially if somebody rides down or rides up there with me. It's not, it passes the time well, and it's not too bad as long as I can get a hotel fairly cheap.
and
You know,
you think you'll do the expo again, or think it'll be more of just a
I
just
was
the
talking
Eagle?
to Emily about that. If I go back, which I mean, I think next year what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pay for strongman just to,
That
you know, that Saturday. I definitely last year I did Friday and Saturday and then came back home Sunday, which makes the trip obviously twice as expensive.
mhm.
So I think it was a good choice this year just to do Saturday. So I think I'll do that in future years. But I could also see myself if I did not do the strongman, I probably wouldn't. I would forego the expo altogether probably, and just get up there in time for lunch and dinner, and call it a day kind of thing.
I think I was surprised. Some people actually like even because we were talking like I think next year a lot of people are gonna just maybe skip the expo. And Tommy was like, they did that this year. Like there's a lot of people that were here at the Eagle that didn't go to the expo. Um, I don't blame people. I mean, if it's definitely not a lot of people seeing, but it's also a financial thing. Like if you don't want to spend that money to get in and then just be overwhelmed, it's like it makes sense to me. So I will say it might be cool to watch a strongman once. Like I'll have to get in. I might have to get on that once, but it all depends. Like if I'm coming anyway, but if I do the strongman, I'd have to do a hotel Friday night because I'd miss it all. But then it's like, taking off an extra day of work, it's kind of hard. But I think as long as the Eagle dinner is a thing and it's organized as well as it was this year, and it's not just like, oh, maybe we can get into a place and maybe we can see some people and maybe we can go to this bar and not hear each other. Like I wouldn't come to Columbus for that. Like if it was just like, hey, we're gonna meet at Brothers and maybe see each other, but probably not. Like I'm good. Like I'm gonna stay home. But the super organized aspect this year was so clutch. So I can't give that enough credit. Hogan getting that set up and Tanner and Tommy kind of coming through with it. So it made the weekend for me for sure. But Spicy, I can't imagine you're gonna. Do you think you are well experienced enough now that you can book another plane ticket, or are we gonna see you at home Gym Con maybe?
I was thinking about that. Yeah, I don't know. It's it's more the financial aspect of
Yeah, is you telling me, brother?
plane tickets aren't cheap, and driving 14 hours just doesn't seem fun. So yeah, it might be a play at the plate, but maybe home gym con, but
Home gym
that's right
comes where
after
it's
the
at.
yeah.
Yeah, home gym. It's such.
That's kind of my impression right now, but it being 2 weeks after Lift Hard, Live Easy is kind of cutting it close, but I can make a few more bad decisions, I
Mhm.
think.
Oh yeah,
If
it
we
was cool
could,
that Jake was there too. Home
yep,
gym
yep,
con Jake.
yep, yeah. Garage Gym Experiment, Jake. I talked to him for a good bit. If we could get like the Eagle experience after home gym con, like that would make it the most best thing because the getting a good crew meetup at home gym con has been somewhat difficult just because it's like we all go to the Guy Fieri's place, but it's like that when that worked, but
I
like
thought that was fun. Yeah, there's
anything in a bigger crowd though, we'd have to do the whole rent a room thing, and then you got to have people pay up front, and then people maybe shit the bed and don't do that, and then it becomes super awkward, and
well,
I
and in
don't.
that area of town, it's kind of hard to like rent a room out, like
Yeah.
just that downtown metropolis there.
They could get a
It's
ballroom at the hotel, but that would be because that's what we're
yeah,
like the VIP thing is Friday night. So if we do a crew meetup, hopefully it ends up being Saturday, just for anyone
yeah,
that's already invested in the VIP tickets. But it is what it is.
yeah.
But I'm super excited for Home Gym Con.
We got to
And
do PBR again though.
oh, was that the bull riding
The
place?
bull riding place. Yeah,
Yeah. What asshole is gonna get on it this year? So it was Robo and Hogan
Hogan.
last year.
Yeah,
But and like I think they were the only sub 30-year-olds in our group that night, at least at that time. So that made sense. But I will. I thought about it briefly, and then yeah, no, I'm never gonna do something like that. I'm too old for that shit. That doesn't sound fun. My neck hurts thinking about it. Um, and then I think was that it? We went in the circle. Everyone said what they were doing this summer. Oh, Kurt, I missed you, buddy. What's up?
Uh, it's tough, too early to say whether or
Oh
not I
yeah, that's
definitely go. I think everyone should go once. So like, regardless of everything, being said about it, it's definitely worth seeing at least once. Brandon, you had said it earlier. It's less of a strength expo now. It is more about just kind of like the commercialization aspect of it. But it kind of depends on who all's going out. Like Spicy and I talked in Crew Falls this year, and we both kind of committed to going then. So like knowing that he was going was a huge incentive. So if there's people who are going to be going for the first time, if I have another buddy who might not be crew who wanted to go, that would certainly be the incentive, because like we've been saying, it really is about the meetup, and it's really about getting to hang out with cool people. That's the real draw of the event.
I think in the in person, like the buddy tag along system worked because Naptime Barbell's buddy I think joined, and I think someone else's buddy might have joined. There was a lot of like, hey, what podcast episode do we listen to as I drive with my non-crew friend down? And I mean, don't quote me on that, but I think some of those guys ended up being like, these might be my people. I'm going to get in on this. So that is kind of wild to me to be like, yeah, I'm going to join crew before I listen to a single episode of Massonomics or like my second episode of Massonomics. But Tom, did we hit you yet, bud? I can't remember.
No, but I mean, I'd say I'd have to be a real horse's ass not to go. It's less than a 2 hour drive.
Yeah.
So like up until this year, I've just drove down on Saturday, hung out with everyone, and then drove home Saturday night. So I can make it like a real cheap trip, and if I wanted, I do think I like the idea of staying, especially next year, like be able to hang out a little bit more and not have to worry about like how tired I'm going to be the next day. So I think that'll be a big, and it's also my birthday weekend usually. It usually lands on. So just real easy and can be super cheap if I want it to be, or if I want to spend a little more on the hotel and stuff can. So
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
thanks.
No, yeah. And you're sub 30, I'm guessing? Are you Nate's age, give or take? Where are you at?
No, I'm a little older, so I just turned 33.
Oh man, okay, you're closer to us. That's
Not,
good.
not like super old,
I mean,
in mid-
you're not as old as me, but I'm getting there. But I think you're the oldest here tonight, aren't you, Kurt? You're a couple years older
Yep.
than me. Yep, you're an old man. You don't party like it, bud. You go hard. You ain't got no gray hairs yet either. I think that
Yeah, I
night.
wanted to.
So like I don't know the science, but like once you get a gray hair, is it always a gray hair? Like does it ever like go back? I don't think, is that a thing, or is it people just pluck them? Because I guess mainly because I think Stephanie and I's day were so stressful. Like we both had gray hairs pop up that next day from that like the intersection incident. Like swear to God, like I had another gray hair in the beard, and she was like looking in the mirror and being like, I didn't have this yesterday, and I'm like, maybe it's just more of a you didn't notice it kind of thing. Like I don't know. Like I remember my mom telling me a story that she claims she got gray hair overnight because one of my older brothers was like almost died and was in the hospital for like a month and traumatic brain injury, etc. And it's like, does stress actually cause gray hair instantly? Is that like a thing? Instantly in the sense of like within a day?
I always thought that was kind of an old wives' tale,
I'm
but
not sure.
yeah.
We getting any
Keith, I think what you're looking for is touch of gray for men. They just run that through. Yeah. They'll really set off those Keith pictures then.
Oh yeah.
I'm the only one without a beard in here, by the way. I just noticed that.
Yeah, but
That's kind of cool.
You got a stash. Your stash has more hair than some of our beards, probably. Let's see. I had one that. Oh, I almost had to do is the word addendum, amendment, whichever of my.
You can use
my
both,
most,
actually.
Yeah. My most fun might be. So my least fun last year was Tom spoiling the strongman results for me. And I say this sarcastically because it is a joke, but like it was just, I was like, oh man,
it wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke.
I might have been a little, and I think it was like my first interaction with him. I was just like, you asshole, you spoiled. I didn't know Mitch won yet. I was gonna watch it on the drive back tomorrow, and I think he was a little angry that I gave him such shit.
Wait,
about
Mitch won last year, and you're telling me this?
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't angry. It was just like it was funny. You were pissed for a second, but like we had spent like hours standing 20 feet from the arena, and he's like spoilers, and I'm like, we're right here. Like that's like being at the game somewhere. Yeah, like spoilers.
But I got you back this year, I think, didn't I? And I think you might have played into it, but
Yeah, you
I
did. Yeah.
I said something of like so and so got X amount of. I think I just spoiled a single event possibly,
Yeah.
and you like. I think you were waiting a year to give me the same over the top reaction because like it took me a second to remember. I was like, "What's he?" I was like, "Oh, I got him back. Fuck you!" But like all in good fun. But
Yeah.
that full circle moment for me. It was really really enjoyable.
I'll
And
wait like 2 decades for a bit. I like it doesn't
fair.
like that makes it all the more funny to me.
Absolutely. Get some more affiliates for you guys to try out one more time. So Barbell Rescue, Home Gym Con, and apparel from the Strength Co. Code unpaid at all those locations help save you a little bit of money. Um, does anybody have any unpaid or underrated they want to ask someone specifically? Or I know this is kind of just last minute. I'm just going through the notes. I was somewhat unprepared, but I did my best. But I mean, we can close it out shortly. But if anyone has a good zinger they want to ask somebody or but if not, no big deal. This is where the the guest gets to ask the host something, or the guest gets to ask the other guest something. But if not, we had a good time. I'm happy. I'm content. This is an episode.
Hey, Kurt, unpaid or underrated? Ohio History Museum.
Unpaid. Yeah. I don't feel like it doesn't present the history of Ohio. I think it just kind of like uh provides some general facts about the state itself, but it seems like there's a lot of really cool historical people from Ohio that don't really get a lot of play in the exhibits at that museum. So there's a lot of really cool things to do in Columbus. My recommendation would be to look at some of the other options besides the Ohio History Museum.
Keith, unpaid or underrated G-wagons.
So is that a Mercedes or a BMW? Like it's an
A
SUV.
Mercedes,
Okay, so it's like $100,000 freaking
like a $240,000
oh Jesus,
SUV.
that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
Like that's I could buy my house fucking a couple times with that. Jesus. Well, not now, but like 15 years ago when I bought it. Damn. That's that's a big number to wrap my head around. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean that
Almost
I
as big
might
as
be
the
exaggerating a
Jaguar.
little bit. That might take some
Nonetheless,
googling, but
that's
it's
that's
a
a few
lot.
years. That's a couple years of it's a few years of work. Oh no. So for sure unpaid because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Nothing should cost that much money. That's
No, I think you were right. I mean, I just Googled and I'm not really looking to see what they are, but like it looks like one like which specific type or anything, but looks like there's one for 215, like a
mhm.
2026.
Damn.
Wow.
That is crazy.
But you can get them for as low as 153. So
Oh
I
yeah,
Oh,
mean,
that's
yeah.
dirt cheap.
I got
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Underrated all day.
I'll just cancel my supporting membership for like 1 month and I'll be able to cover that.
if you're broke, just say it. I mean,
I didn't know it was an
Uh,
episode for the poors.
uh, Spicy pizza, unpaid or underrated. Stealing the spotlight from Big Paul.
That is always going to be underrated. That is always going to be underrated. It is great for my ego, and I know it hurts him, so it's a 2-for-1. So I'll do that every day and twice on Sunday.
All right, boys. We're good, I think. So go around the room. I'll just set you up. We can kind of do the the outro. Uh, Big Tom, where are they gonna find you at?
on Instagram at 1_9_training.
And do you have anything to say to Nate for who was supposed to be here tonight? And just I don't know. I think he just said that he doesn't want to hang out with Tom anymore, or Nate isn't real, or you're not real, or one of you's dead. I'm still not sure about the
You mean
lore.
Tom's buddy, Nate?
Yeah, that one. I mean, he's busy blipping over there. He's blipping all over himself.
My lawyers have advised me not to comment on that subject.
All right. Well, we do want to get you on the podcast in the future, Tom. I've historically just told Nate to schedule you whenever he's available because being your good friend, you think that would have been a better episode. But maybe Joey and I'll just interview without him at this point because he seems too busy to get around to it. And then, Big Kurt, where you at, buddy?
I'm on Instagram at KDubs_82 and on the Discord, Big Kurt W.
All right. Big Brandon, who you at? Who you at? I think is
Uh,
what I said.
who you at?
Who you at?
On Instagram, I'm O'Doyle_basement_lifts, and on the Discord, Big Brandon O'Doyle rules with a Z on the end.
Love it. Big Spicy, where you at?
I'm at Instagram at Spicy Pizza 8123. And that is the same for Discord.
I'm glad you finally changed your Instagram because that was annoying. Like Coach something or other. I'm like, I can't find this kid. Where the hell is he? We are Unpaid or Underrated Podcast. Go follow us on Instagram. Get the website unpaidinternpodcast.com. I've been doing some work there myself personally, but we'll talk about that on a future episode. We got the Discord channel on Massonomics page. Go ahead and talk to us in there. Tell me what you liked about the podcast. Tell me what you didn't like about. Well, fuck you if you didn't like the podcast, but I'm Keith Honeycutt73 on Instagram. More importantly, go follow my Orange Gem, the No Wine Cellar. Until then, see you next Tuesday.